All right. Well, Aaron, now that you asked that, hey, welcome back, everybody. Our tip goal tonight continues to be our Route Livestream studio build. So it's a big old honking tip out there. But yeah, that's right. Vote with your dollars in this one to build our studio for our other AP.
Which has begun.
That is true. If you're a member of our Patreon, you know that we had a bunch of pictures this weekend as we got ready for our studio build. We're building up a new set for our in-person live stream play. Hey, welcome back, everybody. My name is Derek Melenda. I am the game master for the Knights of Last Call, and I am joined by these fantastic gentlemen that you see at the bottom of your screen, Mr. Bob, Mr. Smith, Mr. Tim, and Mr. Kaz. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Excellent.
I have power and there's no fire, so...
Well, good. Congratulations, Tim, because, if you check your stats, everybody, on the left side of the screen, you'll see that Brek is starting with 2 hero points because that's right. So brave and heroic were his actions last week that the party or the chat decided to award him with the MVP award, even though he wasn't there.
Tim,
much love.
Either
much love.
we are so bad or Tim is so good.
Or
that him not even participating.
Yeah, I think it's just that fighters are going to fight.
Fighters gotta fight. Once again, fighters are broken.
Yes.
Tim doesn't even have to be here to be the most effective player.
Droga, that would be Mr. Bob. Go ahead and give yourself a hero point there.
What happened?
Everybody should start with 1.
Oh, I didn't even have one. I used it last time.
Yeah, you used it. There you go. Great. All right. Well, for starters, let me say thank you, everybody who's showing up. The thing about these actual plays are that as they go forward in time, it's harder for people to dive back in. You start getting up a backlog of videos. So I really appreciate our dedicated audience, the folks who are sticking with us week in and week out. And all the usual rigmarole. We've got stream elements tip. You can type !tip in the chat, or there's a link down below where you can go to our stream elements tip page. That's the best and most effective way to tip us. And that's going to raise that Root live stream goal that's going to allow us to really, really build out a really kick-ass cool studio for our other actual play game, which will be starting here hopefully within a month or so. Addition, we love super chats. We love it if you see some of these really cool emojis, burning mammoths and
We need a Yeti.
Math is tight and all this other stuff. That is because people have joined our YouTube page, and that gives you access to a loyalty badge as well as unique and custom emojis, which are very special to the Knights of Last Call. And of course, most importantly, if you're enjoying the show, you want to talk to us about it, you want to join in on some of the fun, you want to play in some games, perhaps run by Mr. Bob Bumbarger himself, then feel free to join the Patreon. The link is in the description below, also in our main page. We have a couple of different tiers, which give you a variety of different options. I really recommend the champion tier. It's a nice balance, and Mr. Smith, aka Joren, just released a, what was it, Aaron, 90 page?
Oh no, I think it was like 80.
80 page. Comprehensive PDF of his house rules for our most recent Pathfinder 2 campaign, which was sort of an experimental blend of different dungeon objectives, and it's the Dark of Winter. And if you're a champion tier member of the Knights, you actually got a copy of that in addition to like a video explaining exactly how to use it and our root philosophy behind why the decisions were made. And that just got released yesterday, so very cool. Steven kicking us off early there with a big old fatty $25 tip. Thank you very much, Steven.
Right.
Steven is a consummate supporter of the show, a true and loyal friend. Thank you, Steven. So last time that we got together and played, we had been preparing for this big ceremonial Night of the Green Moon, a ceremonial time for the Kellid people, but particularly for the Broken Tusks. And it celebrates the return of spring, the return of warmth, the blessing that Sister Cinder made a promise to her people, renewed and restored, so that the people can live. That blessing, even now, thousands of years later, continues to resonate in this land, which should, by all accounts, be a harsh and forgotten wasteland of frigid tundra. But each spring, life-giving warmth seems to suffuse through the realm of the Mammoth Lords, allowing these people to live and eke out an existence in this otherwise inhospitable land. However, this ceremony, this sacred ceremony, was interrupted. And luckily, the scouts had been very perceptive and very aware of their surroundings and had read the signs and the clues and had managed to forestall complete disaster as a war party, a band of Burning Mammoth raiders, the long-lost separate tribe that had split off from the Broken Tusks almost 100 years ago to go fight the demons at the World Wound in Sarkoris, had returned, seeking blood, vengeance, revenge, who knows? But it is certain that they mean ill intention for the Broken Tusks, as several of the raiders swore revenge and fought bloodily to the death. And these are no longer men or women of the Kellid people. They have somehow taken the practices of the Kellid people to an absurd degree, not just ritual scarification, but mutilation of their bodies, pouring hot burning oil over themselves. And
it looked sweet.
Yeah, they look sweet, but
Bob's so totally join them.
I mean, they look so cool.
They're so strong.
You mean all I have to do is kill my friends and sew their flesh into my shirt?
Right.
Sweet.
Where do I sign up?
Let's go.
Yes.
We're gonna stop the Bob turns into a can of block.
Yeah, exactly. And so the party was ready and able to defend as an advanced war party of this descended down right at the culmination of the Green Moon ceremony, and in a tough running battle, the party was able to cover all sorts of ground and deal with a variety of threats that were coming in from a really large battlefield, and it got pretty hairy there at the end, I must admit. Math is tight, and it worked out that even Grandfather Eiwa, who had been attacked, did not actually die. So the as sort of this confusion gave way, however, the far horizon was aglow, as if a great firestorm was descending down. For across the untold miles of the horizon, there was a vast, vast array of burning brands and torches, as the rest of the burning mammoth horde, 1,000, 1,500 strong, began pouring their way into the Gornok plains, sweeping down everything before them. And the Broken Tusks had little choice but to return to their camp, gather up everything that they could as quickly as they could, and leave. Now, thanks to the scouts' activities, things were packed and ready to go. The mammoths had been herded. The alcoholic drink had been mammoth-haired. And
I didn't know where you're going to go with that.
We're still in the first couple minutes of the show, so we have to
I was wondering.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you don't know what we're talking about, check out last week's episode.
You're welcome.
And so actually, amazingly, the entire group of people is able to sort of get going and get on the move as quickly as possible. The initial onus just being, let's move in the opposite direction of the burning mammoths and try to get some distance. And so that'll bring us to tonight's episode. But thanks to all of these heroic actions, the group gained enough experience points to level up. Actually, I believe everybody is at 100 XP, I think. Is that right?
Is that what we ended up at?
Yeah.
I think we leveled up to level 2.
Yeah, you had more than enough XP to level, so I think you ended up going up over to 100. And so everyone got to level 2. So
Perfect.
in the link below, in the doobly-doo, there's a link to a Google Drive folder, which has level 1 character sheets and level 2 character sheets. So you can take a look at what feat choices and options that the characters have chosen. But we'll go quickly through them here. We'll start with you, Bob. What feats or what abilities did you take for Droga? At level 2, you get a class feat and a skill feat. Yep. And let us know maybe why you chose those.
Real quickly, took Survey Wildlife. It seemed like it was the right track as we continue to be out in the wilderness and exploring. Hypothetically, to better attempt at survival checks. That one was a quick one. Again, I'm not really big into skill feats anyway. And then quick draw. I fumbled a little bit last week. I really was hoping to be able to draw when I was in close combat and attack, and I was having that trouble with letting go with one hand, pulling on a weapon, then attacking. I feel like quick draw can allow me to take advantage of that if the situation comes to it. So those are the two I went with.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice, and especially because we are playing with automatic bonus progression. Not only is your bow at level 2, everyone's weapons are treated as +1 item bonus weapons.
I am stronger.
Right, that's right. Not your weapons, Bob. You.
No,
me himself.
Now, game-wise, fiction-wise, I like to think that the blessings of the spirit are with you, that the long lineage of your people, perhaps even the blessings of Sister Cinder herself, are sort of shining upon you as sort of the chosen people, and within the Broken Tusks, this great quest that you have sort of been given to lead your people out of this age of darkness and to a new future. The very spirits of your ancestors, the spirits of this land, are sort of championing you, and that is being represented by these sort of magical bonuses, which are inherent into the very, weapons that you wield and the defenses that you wear. So, sure, it's just a bonus, but I think it's important in any role-playing game to try to at least, talk about it and tie it to the fiction. All right, so Droga, that's what you got. Mr. Smith, what did Joren take?
Joren took for his class feat Emblazoned Armament. I picked this feat so that I could play my class.
Okay, so for people who may not understand exactly what that means, why don't you describe what Emblazoned Armament means and why it works, why it fixes a problem?
Sure, I'll summarize this because it's a wall of text, but basically it turns a shield or a weapon into a holy symbol. This is important for war priests because you're typically holding both of these things, which means you can't do things like grab your holy symbol to cast a 3-action spell because that requires a material component, which normally you use your healing focus for, but the way Pathfinder works, you have to drop whatever you're holding in a hand, grab what you're holding, and then rearm yourself. So,
right. It basically turns your shield into a holy symbol.
Correct. So now I could do things like a 3-action heal without spending 2 rounds to do that.
Correct. Exactly.
It has another benefit, which is nice, and I like it. In the case, I put it on my shield, and it increases my hardness by 1. It's a status bonus, and this is something that I can recast as needed. So if my shield shatters and breaks, I just need 10 minutes and a new shield. And
that's where I was going with. I was like, you keep picking up new shields every week. How's that work?
Yeah, I just need 10 minutes to re-emblaze it. So
okay.
It's not like a deep personal animal companion friend of mine.
Yeah.
Good old Barrick.
Yeah. So that's that feat there.
All right.
And then for my skill feat, I took quick jump. My thoughts behind this was athletics is a really good skill of mine. And because of at least how you've been presenting the maps and the size of the terrain and how they're a little bit more dynamic, there's a little bit more verticality in there. It may come up where that's an opportunity where I can, do a single action jump to like jump up or jump over something and climb.
I'm a big fan of quick jump. I think it's a great skill feat. We always rag on skill feats. I do agree that a lot of them are subpar, but I think quick jump is actually one of the better ones. Being able to do a long jump as 1 action instead of 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, that was my thoughts. In terms of the narrative of this fiction, I think quick jump is Joren's loosening up a little bit. This guy is a trained warrior. He's just been kind of, retired for a bit, but the past week or so, he's starting to loosen up, stretch out a little bit, get back into shape. And the Emblazoned Armament is kind of the same concept, but more of his faith, right? Like he's, been with Sister Cinder for some time now, but now that faith is being tested in a good way, right? He's had this opportunity to kind of serve the community from this priestly standpoint, but now it's like, okay, well, let's see how well your conviction holds, right?
Right.
So
it reminds me of that scene, that movie Signs with Mel Gibson, and how he was like a priest, but he gave up the priesthood after his wife dies in the automobile accident. But at the end, you see him like pulling back out the vestments. It's kind of like this idea of like, you see you etching the symbol of Saren Ray into the shield,
Back on things are good real now. So
yeah, exactly. Awesome. All right, Timmy, what do you got for Brek?
All right, so Brek picked up for his class feat Sudden Charge, as he developed it in the heroic saving of Grandfather Eiwa last week.
Oops.
Last session.
Listen. I just assumed that every fighter in existence just had Sudden Charge. Okay, It's not my fault.
You're just a level early for me. And then for my skill feat, I took Virtuosic Performer Oratory.
Okay.
Just to give me a small bonus. Making all those animal calls over the last few weeks. And, Brek is very much thinking like, every time he has the chance, he's got to pass all these stories down. So he's, he's going to start being that storyteller and legend weaver.
Awesome. I just want to give a quick shout out to Adam Yu, who super chatted $10 with a little super sticker chat. Thank you, Adam. He says #1 fan. All right. Awesome.
Great.
Love to see it. That's awesome. That's amazing. All right. Lastly,
that makes at least one fan we have now.
That's true. You're the #1 fan. You're the only fan.
Only fans.
In the lead.
No! There. How much?
You can find that link in the doobly-doo as well.
The Russian bots will handle that.
The Russian bots.
We were talking about ways of fundraising, so I mean,
that's true.
That's true. Times are tough, guys. So
my friend
was extending our contract.
My friend was in town for the 4th weekend, and he was saying, "What about Nights of OnlyFans?" And I was like, "Oh no." Anyways, but no, seriously though, thank you, Adam, and thank you, Stephen, for those tips and chats, super chats, and of course, thank you to our Patreon. That's the everyone there is supporting us and is allowing us to do this, and so if you're enjoying this, thank the patrons. Garg says we got at least half a fan with the rest of us. Kaz, what did Thron, Big Daddy Thron, pick up?
So, in continuing his desire to stay in close to the enemy, as my class feat, I took No Escape, which allows me as a reaction to move with an enemy. I can stride with a retreating foe. So, basically, if anyone tries to get away from me, I'm sticking right with them. I
have always been fascinated by that feat.
I've never taken it,
and I actually used that feat as an example of where I thought monsters, instead of just giving them attacks of opportunity, which to me always felt like more of a fightery soldier thing. I always felt like the big brutes should have actually had basically a version of No Escape. I think that's a lot cooler, and it doesn't punish you as the same way, but it allows them essentially to get a free stride and to keep up with you. They're not going to get an attack of opportunity. I think it's a cool feat, and I'm interested to see how it plays out.
And with the expanded maps and the size, I feel like movement's a much larger part of our gameplay. So
that is true.
It could play a lot. And considering the last episode, we had one guy break away and take a run at Grandfather. This is sort of ties into that. Like I want to stay with people in an effort to protect them, which kind of leads to my skill feat. I've seen Joren now a few times aid through the use of his healing spells and stuff. Now I'm not a caster, but I did think that something like natural medicine would be pretty interesting. I have that lore already, so I just thought it would be kind of cool. We did the hair of the mammoth, and so this allows, in certain circumstances, me to use my nature check rather than a heal check to do a heal action. So I thought that would be kind of cool.
Very cool.
Especially now that the tribe is on the move. We're always going to be in need of keeping people on their toes.
Slap some mud on it.
Well, not to mention, I mean, I was down to 4 hit points last time, so like I get dropped. It's good to have someone else in the party who might be able to, at least get me back up so I can heal everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You need some sort of get out of jail free.
I don't have 40 hit points like some people.
I mean, listen, I know this isn't any decision.
Is that what you have? 40?
Yeah, 40.
Oh my god!
I know that is actually
before raging.
Yeah, before raging. I know
that's true.
Like, now, to be clear, no one, a dwarf actually could have 2 more hit points than that because a dwarf gets 10. But Kaz has a 16 con, which is as high as you can get because nobody has a primary key stat of con, and he has toughness feat, and he's a barbarian. So, with the exception of him only getting 8 racial hit points for being a human versus 10, that's about as high as it gets in the game. So, all right, very, very cool, very, very awesome. So, any other questions before we get in, guys? Anything?
I don't think so.
All right,
ready to go.
We have our pendants you gave. Now they're on our inventory. Are they appropriately statted and stuff?
There
Yes.
is.
Oh, and I think you're going to have to be the one statting it.
Well, you can edit it. I mean, we can't, but like if you have permissions, you can edit it to actually have it apply an item effect. But right now they don't do that.
Yeah, I've got a once per hour trigger animal targets you with the melee attack. You can see the animal. That's all.
There's
correct,
a passive bonus too. So just remember that if you make a nature check, it's a +1, and if you are using that check to command an animal, it's +2. If it's your animal type. So
yes,
Tim and I, we are going to be mad at commanding and defending against otter attacks. Okay,
So many otters.
Don't worry, guys. We got that handle.
Yeah.
So many otters.
Now, Derek, my house is moose, but I'm a bear guy.
Right.
So is my pendant bear or moose?
Bear.
Moose.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what we said last session. I was like, oh, I wrote that down, but I was like, did it count?
Did it count?
Bear pendant it is.
I mean, people look at you strange, like why? But they understand that you have a special connection to bears, I guess.
Yeah.
There's one bear in particular.
He survived this long.
Yes, exactly. But in particular, as we sort of get to where we're at, starting off. So last night, let me pull this up here. Bloop. Let me see if I can show this to everybody here at home, at the very least. So last night was the 31st of Farast, the first full moon of spring. And technically, as we move into the next day, obviously the people are running and fleeing during the night. So it is technically the first day of Gozran, and technically it is the first full day of spring, and so the night is a wild dash. Thankfully you were thankful that you had the instincts that you had to get everything ready, because it is a wild panic. People are racing to take down their tents, throw everything together that they can, and of course so much has been prepared already thanks to your actions. And the group very, very quickly is gathering. Although no one was killed, there were a few people injured, and so Nocta, who is the sort of the healer of the Mammoth Lord, most responsible for healing and taking care of sick and dying people, is extremely busy, along with, I would assume, Joren, in stabilizing people and getting ready to go. And in very short order, the Broken Tusks are on the move, making their way east from Rockloom and away from the advancing horde of the Burning Mammoths. Now, the Broken Tusks are nomadic people, but they are not used to, they usually kind of just roughly follow the mammoth herd, kind of allowing it to sort of go where they will. And while they have followed the same migratory route for almost 100 years, it can vary by plus or minus 20 miles, depending on the season and the growth and where the mammoths are sort of feeling it. And oftentimes it is the nature and the policy for the clan to set up camp and wait for a few days while the mammoths sort of gorge on all the local vegetation. So they are not used to sort of moving and moving and moving and moving every single night. That's just not really how they are used to living their life. So the panicked rush throughout the night is definitely a shock to so many people. And everyone is moving as best as they can, as fast as they can. And finally, as the morning sort of comes, the dawn arises, they keep trying to put some distance into, between you and the Burning Mammoths. And finally people start basically getting exhausted, especially since, you guys watered down the alcohol, but people were dancing and celebrating, and, people aren't exactly at their best, and no one was really expecting this. And the Mammoth Lords call for a halt and for the group to take a rest as best as they can, to eat some food, see to the herd as best as possible. And everybody's obviously extremely busy. And it's at that point that Nocta emerges and comes to the four of you. and she looks very grave and very sad indeed as she calmly speaks to you with the hard-earned experience that only someone who's lived on these harsh tundra lands for many generations or for many years can have. You must come quickly. Grandfather Eiwa is passing beyond, and he has called for you, the four of you. All right, what do you do?
I listened to her request.
Yeah,
I
obviously.
follow her.
We
All
must
right.
go to grandfather.
All right. So,
She didn't call for Pakano?
Nocta leans over to you. Pakano has not been seen since the attack.
Ooh. Okay.
I hope he was not captured.
It is not known. We fled in such hurry and disarray. Everyone else has been accounted for, but we do not know if he has been killed or captured. She leaves the third possibility unsaid.
I should go back and look for him.
Nocta raises her hand. Joren, you are responsible for this following now. The scouts, they need you. They need your guidance and leadership.
Are we
Whippa,
to leave children behind to die? Is that who we've become now?
we cannot risk one on the needs of the many.
Not even an old man?
An old man, indeed. An old man. Whippa has given birth to triplets. The scouts will need someone with experience to guide them. You have more battlefield experience than any of anyone in this entire tribe, even if your stats totally don't represent that.
Mark my words, Nocta. It's not enough to survive. You have to live as well. And if we sacrifice all of our virtues upon the altar that the Burning Mammoths have made for us, then we might as well have all died last night.
Oh, that is a very brave thing for you to say. But my job as both Mammoth Lord and as healer of this clan is to keep as many people alive for as long as I possibly can. Now, I thank you from the bottom of my very heart. Your actions at Rockloom saved the lives of my tribe, our tribe, after last night. And I would ask that, as a Mammoth Lord, that you listen and bade me at least this one time.
I shall obey.
All right. In the center of the Falcon House area, you can already see that there are a number of members of Falcon House who have begun taking up vigil outside of Grandfather Eiwa's tent. A low murmuring chant begins to spread throughout them. By Fandara's blood you were born. Into the blood mother's womb you shall return. By Fandara's blood you were born. Into the blood mother's womb you shall return. Over and over again. A passing ritual welcoming Eiwa to the next life, to the spirit realm. As you enter the tent, Nocta takes a moment to overlook at Eiwa, who weakly pushes her aside. Save your tendings to those who need it. She goes, Grandfather, you need it more than any. Your ministrations are wasted. My body may yet be living, but my spirit is ready to depart. Your healings will no longer work on me, Nocta. My time has come.
Nocta, I will look over him. Do not worry.
Nocta nods, and tears on her eyes as she looks down upon Grandfather Eiwa for what she, being a medically very skilled person, thinks might be the lost time. In the tent, the only other person is Argakoa, who listens intently at her side, at Eiwa's side, and sort of takes a step back. Young tusks, the dying man whispers, his deeply lined face brittle and ancient, his voice beginning to waver. Come, I do not have much strength. You must come closer.
Joren lets the younger guys go to be close since they're
Step-
blood related. But he
step
does make a
close.
joke. Let me understand. One hard night march and you're laying down ready to die. Broken Tusks stamina indeed. He hides the tears in his eyes.
It is not the wounds that have felled me, nor the passing. It is as if the ancestors have called me home. I believe.
Now, lucky you then.
I believe that I am needed for a greater purpose, a guide. In my physical form, I can no longer help you, but perhaps in spirit, I can guide you.
Thank you, Obi-Wan.
I never told you what happened to your father. It is time that I told you the rest of the legend of the Primordial Flame. I have already told song singer Agrakoa. Her mind is like soft wood. She carves my ramblings into stories. I have told her much of what I know, and it is such as her talent that she will remember when I am gone. He takes a deep, ragged breath. She can be your guide. Agrakoa gently places her hand on Eiwa's shoulder, and the old man tells his tale in halting gasps. My mother, Sidki, I was but a young boy when she and the others, the ones who would become the first Broken Tusks, took the flame to Red Cat Cave, east of here. You may know of the cave. It is nearby where our gathering travels every year, but we do not go there, and have not for many, many generations. There my mother and her following hid the flame under the protection of an ancient and noble beast, a primal spirit named Siostic, who agreed to shelter and protect the flame against all evil. Every year, we would return to make sure that the flame was still safe.
When
But
was the last time it was checked?
it did not, he gasps, it did not last long. But for a handful of winters, right as I came of age to manhood, we came, and after a horrible, ferocious winter, which saw many of our following, then even more struggling than we are now, our herd weak and unable to provide us with food and shelter. After a horrible winter, we came back, perhaps maybe even considering taking it and allowing the healing light to once again reinvigorate us. But it was gone. My mother saw it with her own eyes. The terrible, now twisted and tormented spirit of Siostic, twisted by some evil, the empty dais where the flame once rested, now a broken and shattered ruin. Siostic's enraged spirit attacked her, and she fled, along with the other tusks who had came, but not before several fell beneath the spirit's enraged spectral power. She declared the cave off limits. She perhaps was broken and maybe even ashamed of what had happened, and we have never gone back. He lets out a series of sickening coughs. Go, my young tusks. We do not know who took the flame, but Siostic, angry and ancient as he is, may still remember. Calm his spirit. Find the flame. We have waited for too long. The Burning Mammoths have come perhaps to have their rightful revenge. But only the Primordial Flame can save us. Only the Primordial Flame can reunite our people. I am dying, and as a Mammoth Lord, I use my last wish, my Octo request, to charge you with a quest. The quest for the frozen flame.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah,
Insert music.
That's the name of the show.
Oh my gosh, that's the name of the
Name
show.
drop.
I love it when they do that.
That was that Screen Rant guy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's in the movie. That's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie. That's the name of the adventure. Exhausted from the effort of telling you everything that you need to know, and giving you the Ogto, his sort of death mission. Eiwa falls unconscious.
Certainly can't ignore the man's literal last request.
True.
Brek is just kneeling there. He hasn't really said, he said the one thing out loud, but everyone just kind of sits there like, man, this dude never stops talking. And he's barely said anything since we walked in, such as his grief for Grandfather Eiwa.
All right, a few precious moments pass, and Grandfather Eiwa stops breathing. Argakoa lowers her head and whispers a prayer to Sister Cinder and begins singing a beautiful, mournful chant, an ancient song whose origin is far beyond the Broken Tusks, possibly far beyond even the Burning Mammoths, to when the world was young and new, and the Kellid people first walked underneath the stars of a verdant and vibrant earth. Outside, those in attendance take up her song, joining in the chorus as many voices become one. All right, Grandfather Eiwa has died, but has told you of the nature of the Primordial Flame, that not only was it taken, not only was it stolen, but that the Guardian still remains there, but has been enraged perhaps by evil magic or failure. But Grandfather Eiwa has asked you to find the Primordial Flame and to reunite the people of both the Burning Mammoths and perhaps the Broken Tusks, but maybe all of the Kellid people. For too many generations, the magic which has sustained the realm has begun to fall and falter. The springs have become shorter, the winters harsher and longer, and only the magic of the Primordial Flame can save this realm, these people, and this way of life. All right. What do you do?
Get some directions to this cave.
Yeah.
We need to find this cave. First, I guess we bury, or what would be the burial tradition of?
That's a great question, Kaz. Now, historically, in the ancient times, the people were of great honor were consumed in fires, actually lit with the Primordial Flame itself. But the Broken Tusks have stopped that tradition, perhaps out of losing the flame or whatever. And nowadays, they typically they sort of wrap the body in hides and they leave it in the land to be consumed by predators.
Circle of life.
Circle of life. Yeah, just
Lion King, throwing a Disney movie in there for you.
yeah. However, Murthig approaches the scouts, you all. We have put some distance between us and the Burning Mammoth, but his spirit was strong. I ask that we honor him in the old ways, and that we build a pyre to welcome his spirit into the afterlife.
The Broken Tusk been using cooking fires,
Yeah, small ones.
like noticeable.
Maybe from like a couple 100 feet, from miles
Okay.
away. No. All right. And so now we're going to introduce a new concept. So, listen, I can't help myself. Okay. It It is what it is, people. It wouldn't be my channel if I wasn't messing around with things. All right, so what do we got going on here? Well, let me pull something up for you.
You have to put the resources on a widget. Just keep them up.
Yeah,
Oh, the population and stuff.
it should be at the top of
Oh.
your screen, but
No, I see that.
Oh, we see it. I'm saying the audience is going to want to see that.
yeah, it doesn't change so often that you need it like every time. But yeah, that's not bad. All right, let me pull this up here real quick. All right. I do not own any tokens with vision in the scene. Oh, I need to change. I need to change this.
My eyes.
Yes. Let's see here.
I'm blind, Derek.
Nope, everybody is.
Aren't we all?
All right, there we go.
Oh,
Metaphorically speaking, at least.
All right. So what we have here is what is called the Scion Route. So remember, there's sort of two terms that the burning mammoths, the broken tusk, the broken tusk use, and that is the Scion, which is sort of the after time, and the Ethgir, which is the before time. What we can see here is a map, a hex map of the Scion route. So this is the route that the Broken Tusks have taken for many generations. So what you can see is, and the traditional route that the group would take would normally leave Rockloom, and then usually they would travel southeast towards Gleaming Sun Lake to both drink of its waters and recover strength and spend some time in celebration, in normal time. Then the group would pass east, passing across the rest of the plains until they reached a wide, vast clearing called the between two twin peaks. What, you look confused, Aaron?
Are they fording the river?
They are.
Okay.
Reaching a
Oregon Trail stuff right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are two massive twin peaks with a flat area between them called the Grandparents. And this is traditionally a place where the tribe would stop for, several days or whatever to honor ancestors and honor the departed. And then they would, at this point, you've reached sort of the edge of the Tusk Mountains. So the Tusk Mountains are sort of to the east. And at this point, traditionally, they would turn north and start heading along the western side of the Tusk Mountains. They would not cross over the Tusk Mountains. And shortly, not too far away from the Grandparents, maybe about a couple of days. Each of these hexes, by the way, is 12 miles. Is the Red Cat Cave. So this is it's not quite hexploration because this is an area, this is a path that these people know particularly really well. Oh, what happened? Oops.
Happen.
The party. Oh, okay. I see what happened.
We don't have tokens.
You don't have. I was like, why doesn't anybody have? Why wasn't my thing working? And it's because you guys don't have tokens. Silly Foundry. Tricks are for kids. All right, so we'll put Brek up in here. We'll put Droga, Joren, and Thron, and Barrick, Grelenda. Okay. Grr. All right.
Gerlinda.
That's right. All right, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody.
Gerlenda or the time? I don't.
Now it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
We are in the Gray Void, also known as Ohio.
Oh,
Checks out.
Yes.
All right, there we go. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So the
Brek, you're healed up, by the way, as an
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
all right. So the first thing that this made me think of here was that this reminded me of Battlestar Galactica. So there's a board game and there's a TV show, Battlestar Galactica. But in it, you have a ragtag group of survivors who are being pursued by a much stronger menace that is trying to catch up with them and destroy them. And so the group here of scouts being very, being in charge and with sort of the onus of heroism blessed to put upon them. Aaron, you look confused again.
Sorry, there was a delay, but you were the stat page was covering Bob, but you fixed it in the past.
Yeah. Whenever I bring it back up, I have to reset it. But we are going to use, you could call it a clock, you could call it a victory point system, you could call it a resource system. But the Broken Tusks are going to basically have 4 sets of values that represent sort of the quality and the capability of the clan, of the group. So we have population, which starts at 12. We have morale, which starts at 10. We have food, which starts at 8, and we have the herd, representing the collection of animals that sustains the people at 8. If any one of these reaches 0, the Broken Tusks are essentially no more.
Game over, man. Game over.
Now, because that doesn't mean the players die. Hell, the players could swear an oath of vengeance and still go on and keep playing the adventure. But essentially, it means that they will have failed to preserve the integrity of the Broken Tusks. And in the event that the morale drops, for example, the population doesn't drop. It just means that the people give up. They wander away, they scatter, stuff like that. Food, yeah, maybe they all starve to death. So things are pretty tough. The choices that the characters will make as they make their way through this exploration are going to affect these values. If any of the values gets to half of its starting value, that can start to have negative repercussions on other values as well. So, for example, if food gets down to 4, it starts at 8. If food gets down to 4, well, then your population might start to drop. people start running out of food, or morale will start to drop as people start to go hungry. On the same time, though, if you can boost these things to, again, more than half of its starting value, so if you could raise morale to 15, people will have bonuses and the like. And so a lot of the things that the group will do in exploration are going to affect these values. So not only are the players going to have to manage this, quest to recover the frozen flame and deal with all the crap that Paizo put in here, but on top of that, I, Derek, am adding another element, which is you also have to now. Of course, this is not an adventure. I'm adding this because I like to be evil. And the best part about this is, right, this is essentially non-mechanical, right? Like if everybody goes to shit and everybody dies, well, I mean, that doesn't actually give them a -1 to hit. And as long as it doesn't give them a -1 to hit, like, it doesn't affect the game.
The game works.
The game just works.
Eric, are we included in the population? Can it ever drop below 4?
Oh, no, that's not people.
That's not people.
Okay.
It's just an abstract scale.
Got it.
I mean,
thought it was there are 12 people in the population of
The
this thing.
exact number of
Can we
our
name
entire
them?
tribe.
That's
Yeah.
about 100
12.
people right now, Bob.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to be like each point is like roughly half a dozen people, give or take.
Okay. I'm on board again.
Got it. Sorry, I should have been more literal for Bob. There are.
I'm just saying. You wrote 12. I think there's 12.
Just
There's 4
added
of
a
us.
You're
zero to
currently
all the numbers.
50% happy.
Um,
And we've eaten today, but it wasn't satisfying.
right. Yes. Don't think of those things as being at half. It's just the way that this resource tracker, a module works. You have to put a maximum in. So, theoretically, I should say they should be out of 99, I guess, but they probably won't ever get that high. Okay, so these are going to be things that the group is going to have to deal with as they make their way across the land. Now, the good news is, now you can also see here, the banner of the Broken Tusks is just east of Rockloom. That's what you guys traveled last night in your panicked rush. And roughly about 2 or 3 days behind you is the vast horde of the Burning Mammoths. Now, the good news is that this is a land that you know fairly well, and that you have journeyed through for many, many years. And so, at least for the time being, your pace can actually be a little bit greater than that of the Burning Mammoths. But at the same time, you may be wanting to manage your party resources, and that is going to cause additional dilemmas or delays to you as well. In addition to that, you yourself have objectives and things that you are going to want to accomplish, such as getting to Red Cat Cave and doing all that other stuff. So now this first part is sort of like Hexploration Light. So if you're familiar with the Hexploration rules, they're from the Game Master Guide. The base actions in a Hexploration game are that you can either you get a 1 Hexploration action per day equal to, it's based on your movement speed. But the Broken Tusks, the Broken Tusks get 1 action per day. And they will almost always use that to move. Now, you are the scouts. And while you are not in charge of the Broken Tusks, the Mammoth Lords defer to your expertise. That being said, they are going to want to talk to you about what the plan is, as they have
recharged the Burning Mammoths.
As they have their own thoughts. So traveling on a hex takes 1 day. Traveling through a difficult terrain hex like a forest or a hill takes 2 days. Crossing a river doesn't take any extra time, but there may be a check that could potentially cause a problem. That might cost you extra time, or if you don't want to spend the time, you can always spend resources.
Let's just drown some people and walk on their dead body.
People make great bridges.
If
That's what I've heard.
we don't have to deal with the clocks, then
True.
That is
let's just eat all the food and then we can just play the adventure.
that is
We just
100%.
leave them behind like Pocono did. Just look at the flame.
So yes, and then additionally, again, the people of the Mammoth, I mean, obviously they want to flee and obviously they want to do things, but they also, they rely on some of their landmarks and some of their landmarks in order to navigate and go places. So there are certain places, which again, I've marked on the map, the Gleaming Sun Lake, the grandparents, that are sort of cultural touchstones for the Broken Tusk people. You can, the Mammoth Lords will be sort of encouraging you to lead the group towards those locations, because they could do things like restore things like food and morale and stuff like that, because the people need those moments to sort of recover from things. Let me think what else. Oh yes, and traveling across a hex is 1 day or 1 action, and then actually like going into a hex, which is called reconnoitering, is 1 day as well, right? Because obviously the area of a hex is pretty big. Crossing it's one thing, but like actually kind of exploring it and going and doing things in it is another. So yeah. Any gameplay questions about this? Now remember, this is like Hexploration easy mode, because the map, because this is again part of your ancestral route.
I was gonna say we can see where we're going,
so you can see where you're going. So it's not really the exploration part of it yet. It's the right, because again, this is a route that you have been yourself on every year of your life.
I feel like we could just do this and just avoid all the double X movements by traveling through most of this stuff. But obviously we have to, there are 2 rivers. If we cross those, we probably should hang near the Gleaming Lake at some point, stay near the grandparents at some point to get some morale back. And that's just going at fast pace. We obviously need to do some other stuff, but that's from a tertiary view. I'm looking at, that's the easiest route.
I see only 3 problems with your plan, Bob. But other than that, it's a good plan.
Okay. I'll ask about those when they come up.
Cass, go ahead.
Is it assumed that if like we were to forage for food, that each hex contains enough sustenance, provided the hex isn't like, lava fields or something like that, but like under normal circumstances, we could forage in a hex for food.
All right, so that's actually an option that right now you don't have to worry about, but when we get into the second component, you will. So again, this is sort of like intro to hexploration. Right now, the people in there have enough. The Broken Tusks know this land well enough. They can, recover enough from their own actions. They have enough food and supplies on hand to be able to sort of survive. So again, for right now, you don't need to use the subsist downtime as the other members of the following are going to cover such needs. That may change in the future.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Why are we writing on this? And
I'm pretty sure it's Aaron.
And who is doing
Lava.
I'm almost 100% sure it's Aaron.
To be fair, who else is it going to be?
That's actually 100%.
Bob doesn't even know where this tool is. So.
Right.
I drew the route that we should take.
Sure, that's true.
Okay. So
You have a text tool. You could just type with that tool.
Yeah, it's not
Get
as
rid of your
dramatic.
nonsense. All right.
Cool.
So let's get Hexy time light.
all right, I guess I have to clear all this.
Oh, Aaron should just control Z'd all that.
Well, he did not.
I did not. I moved on.
Oh
He,
gosh.
he moved on.
I bore of this.
I bore of it.
You did remove your other text though, Mr. Derek.
Oh, great. Thanks. Well, you know what they are called now, so
All
it's
right.
fine.
Yep. The Grand Lake, the Red Cat Parents.
Yeah.
Mm.
The shady murder hobos that are chasing us.
There's like
I just ruined this whole game.
This is the
So,
stuff
Derek,
I have to put up.
you knew what you were getting into with Aaron and I. I'm just putting that out there.
It's true.
I will say a tip of advice to anybody who is GMing in Foundry: make sure you check that option that you do not give your players actions to use any of the drawing tools, as they will abuse it
Really anything. Just
every single time. In fact, if you
Just
just
let
you
them
gotta
watch.
make sure
In
Smith
fact,
doesn't use it.
if you just play their characters for them, it'll probably actually go a lot better.
I mean,
Everyone
seriously,
will
look
be
at Tim.
happier.
You got a hero point. He must
That's
be
right.
there you go.
Just sitting back today, you know?
All right, so the remaining what's that, Kaz?
I'm filling out my quest log.
Got it. Okay. So as dawn breaks on the first of goes around.
Comes around.
That's correct. Oh.
We're here all night, folks.
That was
Our tip goal is to stop.
Yeah.
that was
the
actually
bad
pretty good.
jokes.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So the burning so the basically the Mammoth Lords, Murthig, the four remaining Mammoth Lords, Agricola, Lethua, Murthig, and Nocta, Murthig, the Firekeeper, wants to burn his body in a ceremonial burning.
Does that take a day?
It does not.
We're quite efficient at burning bodies.
Okay.
I'm sure
At first I was-
ensures they know exactly where we are though, which might
Well, I was going to
Yeah,
worry about
I
that,
don't
Tim,
know.
and then I realized there's 100 people plus like 100 animals, and so who's going to fail that survival check, the track. So it really just literally
Fair.
doesn't matter. I mean,
We're not hard to,
Fair
to
point.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, they know exactly where we're going.
fair point.
All right. So I take it that you have your ceremony.
I would think so.
All right.
Oh, it's fine.
All right. So
Yeah.
you guys gain a point of morale
Nice.
Hooray.
as ancient tradition is reawakened, and even though people are extremely shook up, it seems to brighten everyone's spirit. And as a final and touching tribute at the end of the ceremony, Wippa declares she's naming the oldest of her two newborn sons, Eiwa, in honor of the grandfather. And
Nice.
she's naming her daughter, remember she had triplets, she is naming her newborn daughter Sidki for Eiwa's mother.
And the third?
Screw them.
Number 3.
Pakano Jr. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Gosh, that's terrible.
Cursed from the
PJ.
start.
She also accepts the traditional addition to her name, signifying that she is a birth mother, and will henceforth be known as Whipakoa. The
Whipakoa.
Whipakoa. So the
Whip me up a sandwich, Koa.
Well, actually, that's your job. Because
I make her a delicious sandwich, Derek.
Okay, great.
Regularly
Lovely.
because she's going to be recovering for some time now.
Correct. She just had triplets, and this isn't modern day, and she has to, care for all of them.
No, actually, that's how it works in modern day too. I made my wife many sandwiches.
So, Argakoa, along with the other 3 Mammoth Lords, Letsua, Murthig, and Nocta, meet with you later as soon as the burning of the body is completed. And Argakoa kind of gathers up with them. I have told the other Mammoth Lords what Grandfather Eiwa has charged you with. That he has asked that you travel to Red Cat Cave and that you seek the secrets of the lost Primordial Flame. Murthig steps forward. I believe that this quest is risky at best and suicidal at worst. Red Cat Cave is due east of here, as we all know. But after stopping at the grandparents, as is our tradition, we turn north and make our way along the western boundary of the Tusk Mountains. If the Burning Mammoths head northeast, they will cut us off.
Well, there's some good news. The Burning Mammoths are clearly here to kill all of us. They will find our trail and follow us, so they won't head northeast. They'll head southeast and catch up.
How confident are you in that?
Well, we're slow and lame, and we don't have many warriors, and some of our warriors were just until recently pregnant, so pretty confident. They'll take their time. Keep in mind who they are and what they represent as well. It's not enough for them to have a clean hunt. They want us to suffer. They want our fear to fester. They want us to know that they are coming.
Letsua steps forward. I believe you underestimate our abilities in this land, Master Joren. These, although it looks like flat, featureless terrain on this beautiful hex map, our people know the folds and dips and valleys, the dells and peaks of this land better than anyone. I believe that we actually may be able to move at a faster pace than they are. And he is right. The Burning Mammoths basically have a chance each day to only move essentially half a hex, even in clear terrain.
Oh.
Obviously, you guys could get unlucky, and they could catch up very quickly. But basically, you are relying on your expertise and knowledge because they basically don't have a map, right? Like they have to sometimes get turned around, confused, and there's 1,500 of them. So you do
Less
have.
Still know why they
with them.
What's that?
We don't know that.
Don't know what.
Unless Pakanos.
Oh, unless Pakanos. That's a good point.
1,501.
I just wonder if, like, with that many people, could they just split up? Half go after us and half cut us off.
Well, no, he brings up a good point, though. I mean, we do know this land, and that's why we're not dead instantly.
Correct.
They do not know this land, or we would be dead. They don't know where we're going. For all they know, they think that we're fleeing. They don't know that we're going, whether we decide to go there or not, past an ancient cave that we hid their weapon in.
Right.
It's true.
That is very true. Argakoa speaks forward. Nonetheless, despite what the Mammoth Lords may feel, and you could tell that Argakoa is definitely on your side, or at least on Eiwa's side, I believe that we have a life debt to Grandfather Eiwa, and that we should honor his last wish. And as Master Joren says, there is nothing to indicate that they even know the path and route that we are taking. So,
Yes.
if we stick to our route, then perhaps we can use that to our advantage. And
Let's get to the mountains where my lore is strong.
You mean the mountain hexes that the following can absolutely not enter, Bob?
Look, we talked about all this during character
Look at all these
creation.
rivers, and we're going to have to cross one. If only we had someone who knew something about rivers.
By the way, at the beginning of the campaign, there was like a thing about like, hey, you're in this tundra land. There's a lot of forests and rivers and plains. Bob, what terrain lore do you take? Mountain.
Yes. But to be fair, I did say river first. You guys were like, I don't think that's really going to be good. And I was like, well, then mountain's my next choice.
All right, fair enough. I mean, there are 2 rivers here. Although, to be ironically, the first couple of episodes, river lore would have been.
We're all about rivers.
We're all about rivers. Okay, so let's get started. So the Mammoth lore. So again, this is sort of Hexploration light. Going forward, there's going to be you're going to be able to like separate from the tribe. Now remember, these are 12
tap here.
These are 12-mile hexes. So the understanding is that you all are still probably anywhere from a few hours to to within whistle shot of the main body of the following as they make their way across the plain. So for the first day, what would you guys like to do?
So do they have a specific, like hex specific path that they're taking? Because I mean, this is 12 miles. That's obviously a ton of terrain.
I want to go here to the next up northeast.
So as I said, let me find this exact quote here. In each year, the mammoths basically sort of, you could think of it as over the course of many generations or many, over the course of many generations, the route from here to the grandparents they always stop at Gleaming Sun Lake.
No, I got that. I meant specifically, like, because like this year and this year is a very far distance.
No, I mean, like a lot of many years when they're not being chased by burning mammoth hordes, they'll take a very circuitous route, right? A lot of times they just let the mammoths kind of go where they want to, make sure they don't get anywhere too dangerous. But if the mammoths are like, hey, there's a lot of vegetation here, we're just going to head that way and eat, they kind of try to not try to push it too much, right? So in any given year, you could think that the migratory route might, vary by as much as 2 hexes up or 2 hexes down, right?
Oh, okay. So there's that much variation.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like maybe a couple of years ago, maybe they went south from Rockloom and then they went like over the One Hill hex and came up to Gleaming Sun Lake from the bottom, right? And then maybe another year they went up north around the river and then came down. And then maybe last year they just went straight across. It varies. It depends. There's so many micro terrain variations too. Like in a normal situation, like
they're just trying to hit their landmarks, really. Gleaming Sun Lake, grandparents.
The Mammoth Lords think that's important, but you may not. And ultimately, as the scouts, they are going to sort of, follow your guide. And again, from a meta game perspective, hitting those landmarks is going to be important for your resources. Right. Because there's
water, food, and morale.
Right. The longer you travel without taking basically like a day off to rest, that's how those things are going to start to tick down, right? The beasts of burden will start to die and wear out. The food will start to drop down. The morale will start to drop. Population usually isn't going to drop unless one of the other ones is in the red, or if you're attacked.
Okay. Question for the party.
Yes.
How many of you have Fleetfoot?
I do not.
I think Tim has it.
Yeah.
Your fleet. Kaz, what's your speed?
25.
All right. Maybe next level we all, Bob, Kaz, and I take Fleetfoot because then we can get 2 actions.
Yeah. So in this phase of the Hexploration, you still just get 1 because you're like stuck to the thing. But in the second phase, yes, if you have a speed of 30 feet, you get 2 Hexploration actions a day. Yeah.
It's
good to know.
Tutorials.
Yeah, it's like a tutorial, right? Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think we should.
And conveniently, probably by the time you finish this, you'll be level 3, which is in time for a general feat, which is in time for.
And general feats are worthless, so we'll take Fleetfoot.
No. Fleet's good, toughness is good, and incredible initiative is pretty good. So
yeah.
Well, I already have toughness, so
there you go. Okay.
Well, I think, Joren, that we should try to push our party of Broken Tusks up to the northeast to try to get this clear path to gain some footing on this chasing party.
I was going to say we've got
I'm
we got the
confused.
resources now.
That's going the wrong way.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, in general, he said we went south, and then
I love how it's like the first hex, and it's already like, wait.
All I'm saying is there's two double or half speed at these hills, so we want to take the fastest route.
We could walk around the hills.
That's what I was thinking.
This goes into the gray void of off the map.
Only for half a hex. It's fine.
Yeah. As long as you don't end like a whole day off the hex, then
We're good.
It's just the wall that we're not allowed to leave, and it's electrocuted. What do you want?
The loading map.
It's 6 miles, so I mean, there's plenty of space.
I guess we could do that, but I don't know. I'll leave it up to the vote of the party, but I still think going northeast and then following the lake down towards Gleaming Sun Lake is the best route. Seems like the most logical route, but we can go south if that's better.
But I think what specifically what Aaron is talking about, Bob, is he is worried that it's going to look like that.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go. Yeah, and then we're gonna go to the next one.
Right,
They move at half speed.
Right, and then what if you fail the river check and then you're there?
Right. So here's the thing, Bob. You would know this if you had river lore. But down here is a known crossing, right? You can't just actually cross a river of 100 people and animals and whenever you want. That's very hard. So we don't actually know if this river is crossable here, right? We do know it is crossable here. Now, it still might be a check, but maybe it's not a ridiculous check. Up here, Derek can just do whatever he wants because
how do you know that? How do you know that's a crossing over there?
Because that's where they cross.
We do it every year, and we were told
done it every year. You have crossed here. Your character has crossed here.
I thought he said that they crossed over areas. I didn't think he specifically said that tile.
Right there. That tile or this tile. Derek wasn't specific, but it's one of these two tiles.
Specific.
Well, he was specific. That was one of these two tiles.
There is always a check to cross a river.
So I don't think it matters, Mr. Joren, that we.
I think it does if Derek's going to be a good GM because that's how rivers work. Are you saying that Derek is not a good GM?
Bob, I'll tell you what. We'll get rid of all. We'll get rid of all of this disambiguity. Or this ambiguity real quick. Just give me a river lore check. And...
I mean, yeah, if you're the expert of the rivers, you let me know.
Oh, you don't have that. Oh, damn. Sorry.
Fair. That does check out.
So that's problem one. That's problem one of three. Okay. Second problem. This is also a known path. And while Derek did just say it ranges from a couple hexes, this is a generational path that these guys know the way of. And we got 100 people in here who can go, oh, was it left or right? I think it was left, and agree to that. They have apparently never gone up here this way. So what that means is this is hundreds of miles of unknown wilderness that we're going to be walking through.
He just said that they explore up to 2 hexes in any direction. How
That's
do you know that
2 hexes, not 7.
Yeah, but I'm talking about going up northeast over this river and then follow.
Oh, you just want to go down. I was going off of your original path.
That also makes us
cross
more rivers, though, and the more checks we have to make.
Correct, which is bad.
It's
and we're going to lose people to rivers.
Yes, it's 2 times the amount.
Which is terrible.
The other thing is you have to make a decision. I think the first decision that you should make is: are you trying to go to this hex?
Yes,
and that is the third point.
I don't disagree with that, but you could during my path when you come straight down this river. Following it southeast, you would end up in the hex right above it.
No, you're thinking of this like a game. That's the other side of a lake. That's not where they have their ritual. That could be the bad side of the lake, where like it's all the garbage.
You say that there was a bad side.
No,
of the lake?
I definitely did not say that. There
I was like, he's making this.
I don't know. I said there could be. We don't know because they don't go to that side of the lake.
We don't know that.
That might be the public park, right? And they want to have a nice private picnic, and everyone's out there, and the kids are naked, and they got the slip and slide, and they're trying to hose them down, and you're like, "What is this? I just want to eat a sandwich," right? We don't know. That could be that side of the lake. Okay. The other side of the lake is the nice part, the private part, right?
So
maybe
make a recall knowledge check. You should remember what it was like. You've been there.
All right, I make a recall knowledge check. What side of the lake is the lake that we go on? Is that society?
Riverlord.
Oh, sorry.
But it's a lake.
Lake
It's
Lord.
connected to 4 rivers.
Lake Lord.
The good news is that it doesn't matter whether you are here or here, because neither of those is the right hex. This is the right hex. So unless
Correct.
you're in that hex, it is irrelevant. You were
Well,
not
I get that. I was saying you go one north of the river.
right. You
hex.
could be right there, and that's
Yeah.
nothing.
But that's the fast route, and then you take a day to go to Gleaming Sun Lake, recoup, and then travel back along the paths that are the least resistance.
Okay, what do you do when you have to cross the lake in the hills? Was that just where we lose all of the time advantage that we had?
Cross the lake? You mean the one river that we have to cross up here?
Or the river, yeah. The second river crossing.
We have to cross the river anyway.
We only have to cross it once, but if you're playing, we got to cross it twice.
Yeah, but I get that. But it's also it has
Did you play Oregon Trail as a kid?
dysentery was my enemy. Snake bites.
He always forded the river.
I
Yeah.
can't.
That was the answer.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
know,
always took that risk.
I hope that this is why you all came here for this. Like, you could be watching Critical Role right
Here's
now,
the thing.
but
It's the
you're
same number of hexes.
You should be.
but you're
But
watching
south,
this.
we only have one river. to
And you know
cross.
why you're watching this? Because what you're seeing right here, this is what a real D&D Pathfinder
session is.
TTRPG session actually looks like.
Correct.
A bunch of people, all of whom are so woefully informed, arguing
None of
about
us actually know anything about rivers or travel.
right.
Usually we're drunk when me and Smith are arguing.
In fact, there is an entire game system, which is the Forged in the Dark game system. Blades in the Dark is the most common game. It's the first game. The entire game system was designed specifically to avoid PCs making plans because they're like that is where the game goes off the rails every single time. But you know what? Michael says maybe the chat should vote. You know what? All right, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in.
The chat represents the rest of the
Broken Tusks.
Broken Tusks.
Yes.
There we go. Yes. So our Broken Tusks.
And as the views drop, Derek will just lower the population.
Oh, that's right. Chat, that's
If not
you.
everyone votes,
Chat,
Auto
no.
votes is one.
Chat. We've gotten $25 in tips tonight. If we don't get to $250 by the end of the night, people die.
No. The money, the tips should go into like things like the food and morale.
Oh,
right?
Food
Yes,
and morale.
food and morale
Right?
makes total sense. Yes.
If you don't subscribe and
views.
like, population goes down.
That's right. We
Yeah,
need
the number of people watching.
if some
Right.
okay, no. If somebody joins the adventure, that's a +1 to population.
There we go.
You've joined us a member of the Broken Tusk community. Okay, so what are our options? We can go to the northeast,
Yes, that's the best option.
okay, or we can go to
The traditional path of our ancestors
or we can go,
on our ancestral quest.
the path. I cannot stress this enough. The path has gone all over the place. That is true. So we can go
It's
southeast.
the 2 hex difference. That's not all over the place.
Well, yeah, it is.
How does 2 hexes equal everything?
2 hexes in either direction of a straight line equals this whole entire map
Yes.
So two hexes forever?
Yeah. So
for at least the straight line.
yeah. So for example, here, like they may have 1 year they may have done this. 1 year they may have done that. 1 year they may have done that. 1 year they may have done that.
Oh, that third one looked real close to what I was saying.
All right. Yeah.
So all of those are within +or- 2 hexes of each other.
All right.
So those are all potential options.
Oh, Bob, I don't care. It's your people.
They're your people now.
What do you mean, you people?
I'm just saying. It isn't.
All right. So my
I
options.
would vote.
My options are northeast, southeast around the hills, and southeast through the hills.
Yes, those are the 3 options.
All right. Votes coming in.
Ours the Burning Tusk.
Let me
They're
just.
deciding how to travel east. Well said.
Yes, I appreciate the chat a lot here. We are all going to die. That's a Booth B. Definitely got that.
Yes.
This is the shittiest game of Catan I've ever seen.
Hero point to that person.
Can I trade some Mammoth for wood, please?
Yeah, there you go.
They get there and you've built a city and they're like, what the fuck? By the way,
That's true. If we had walls, this would be a lot easier.
by the way, we're coming up on our 8:30 break. So the dramatic cliffhanger as we go to break is going to be, which way do we go?
We did
Again.
rule out Northwest, right?
Yeah, Northwest.
No, someone did say that. They said you should have said go west, which was Smith's first thing about charging. They said they'll never expect it.
They'll never expect.
So we got 18 votes. There's 40 people in chat, so I'm gonna give it till we get to at least like 25 votes. So make sure you let your vote know. It's actually really, really close right now. This is an interesting component because there's always the possibility that the chat is trying to screw with you.
Yeah, you should have put West in there and really screwed us.
Yeah, Northwest, face the horde. They'll never see it coming. Derek gave us all sudden charge. Let's go.
There we are.
Damien, you kept their vote. Good for you, buddy. It always screws Damien over. All right.
Oh, I'm genuinely interested. Oh no, what happens if there's a tie?
You have to go both ways.
Sure, we split the herd.
That's why you split the party.
Perfect. We split the party up.
Oh, that'll definitely be everyone's death. That'll be great. All right, we're 2 votes away from 25. So
Even more broken tusks.
even more broken toast. Again, listen, part of the fun of this is, again, I introduced this system and, I didn't really play test it. So it could be completely broken, but part that we'll find out together. And that's what we're here for, right? We're always experimenting. We're always trying new things. We're always trying to make it interesting. And what I'm really trying to go for with any sort of role-playing game scenario is I want the party to have to make tough choices. And I want them to be able to, sometimes you can't get it all. Sometimes you have to win and lose some and win some and lose some. So this is where we're at. All right.
The nice thing about this is like the chat gets to make the choice and we just get to suffer through it. So this is kind of like Wheel of Pain,
Right.
except without all of the
tips
wheelie.
and the money.
Correct.
Without us
Yeah.
being successful.
It's a pain though.
Yeah.
Just straight pain.
Just
But
straight.
also the audience is in pain now. So there's
Yeah.
that.
The TFK, total follow and kill.
That is great.
Oh, that is actually really good, Gargs.
I love that.
That's really
That
good.
has to go in a shirt.
Yeah, it's
So many shirts.
with just a broken tusk with like a slash through it.
I mean, I could put that burning mammoth that you made with it on fire.
When does Pathfinder show up and say thanks for playing Pathfinder?
All right,
Yeah.
I'm about to close the poll, so here we go. All right, final vote is 39% say
How'd I get
Through
the
the
least amount of
hills.
votes?
southeast through the hills.
That's like the worst option.
That
All
was
right.
that was
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
the worst
But
option.
you know what, Bob? At least both you and I agree that that's a terrible choice.
Yes.
So see,
We
look,
have finally
look,
been united.
the chat has united the party. Rivo asked if somebody has a lore skill that they can use to help pick a route. Bob,
Lore
any useful lore skills here, buddy?
Yeah, that mountain real far away. I think I might know what mountain that is.
That's true. That's the Tusk Mountains.
I know exactly what that is.
They are normally.
Yeah, those are the grandparents.
Yeah, and those are the grandparents. That's
Those are the
correct.
mountains that everyone knows
Those are
about.
the mountains.
Congratulations.
They're the ones that are labeled on the map.
That's a great skill you got there, Bob.
Such knowledge and lore.
All right.
All right, through the hills we go.
All right.
So
southeast.
case this reminds me.
Just barrel through the hills.
The case with Stick says the reason democracy sucks. Actually, it does check out. All right. Well, guess what? We're gonna go to break.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
So we're going to go to break. We're going to break for just a quick 10, 15 minutes. Let everybody grab a drink, go to the bathroom. Maybe you can take a break as well. And Ben says, I thought the chat was ignored during play. Ben, yes, the chat is ignored.
It got a little off the hands or off the rails.
I would say that when we're involved in like a combat or a lot of, active role playing, but when we're sort of table talking, I think it's a little bit easier. And that is why we are sort of. Also, we literally made a chat for that because they could not make up their mind. So we'll be back. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
We'll be arguing.
And then we're gonna get some hex movements in. I'm gonna make some random encounter rolls, and we're gonna see what happens to the knights, or I should say, the Broken Tusks. as they make their way
Team Tap here. That's why I vote the name of the group.
as they
Should
make
be.
their way southeast towards Gleaming Sun Lake, taking a most uncertain route as they make their way through the sort of hilly mountains or so hilly foothills to the west of Gleaming Sun Lake. All right, let me see. Anything else before we go to break, guys?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Let me get a time for everybody.
Yep.
I've got 8:25.
That's what I have.
So we will be back at 8:35.
Perfect.
Oh.
See everybody soon.
All right, everybody. We will see you back in about 10 minutes. Be right back.
Peace.
We were ever on the
Now-
rails?
It's like a bus full of nuns hitting a bus full of puppies, and they're all on fire. Oh, are we on?
Oh, we're live.
And we're live.
And we're live. Hey, as we came back there, we had a shout out from Smog. I'm going to give him another strong. Here we go. From none other than the man himself, Gargs, who became an adventurer. I don't know why my thing isn't working. Oh no, but Gargs, welcome to the crew. And of course, as I said, Gargs, you guess what, Gargs? We answered the question. Wippa had 3 babies, which should represent a thing. We got one named Eiwa after Grandfather Eiwa, one named Sidki after Eiwa's, and what's the third one named? Gargs.
454.
Gargs 454.
The language is interesting. And
the Kellid tongue gets
Hallet.
Right.
Yeah.
But thanks,
Sweet
Garg.
sister's teeth.
So thank you, Gargs 454, for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Appreciate that. And I am going to up the population. Boom.
Nice.
All right. As
A point gain is a point we can spend later.
that's right.
Pay to win.
That's right.
We're gonna sacrifice those babies.
Squad, get out your wallets.
As the group contributes, the celebrates the birth of Wippa's triplets. The Broken Tusks, even in this tremendously difficult time, are sort of given a renewed promise that they will be able to, maybe survive and thrive. And who knows, maybe this band of scouts will truly bring them into a new and greater tomorrow. All right. Well,
Nope.
After consulting with their constituents, the group decides it's a very Hobbit, two towers Hobbit plan. The closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm. And the group decides that they are going to take a path through the southeastern hills. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Derek, isn't that a horrible idea? Actually, not. The reason is because the odds that the Broken Tusks will be able to make it through the hills, they just have to spend 2 days of movement to enter to the hex. But the Burning Mammoths will have an even harder time. It's one thing to track the party, I should say the following, through the tundra and the grasslands. But once you get up into the hills, the dirt, the rocks, the valleys, the narrow, it becomes a lot easier for them to lose you. And so they actually have a greater chance of being really slowed down and hamstrung by the passage through the hills. So while it can be risky, obviously if the Burning Mammoths roll well, they'll be able to catch up, but it could pay off in the end. So
All right.
I want to say real quick as we kind of get underway here, I just saw a big tip from Mr. Benisaro. Ben, thank you so much for the tip, for the continued support for the Knights of Last Call. Love to see it. Love that you're here. Appreciate you, everything you do. For those of you who don't know, Ben is one of our top patrons. He's a mod for our channel, and he also does a lot of the home music. Not this music. That's something I get from a license. But if you enjoy our podcast or you enjoy our nightlife shows, that music was orchestrated for us by Ben. He also does all of the audio editing for our podcast. So Ben,
when we let him,
when I always let him, that's a question of whether or not you let him. But he's a very, very,
sorry, Ben.
He's a very important member of the channel, and we thank him for his generous donations, not just of his cash, but of his time and his energy as well. And Gargs, love to see that. Love to see those emojis coming through from you. Thanks a lot, Gargs. That's awesome that you signed up to become an adventurer of Last Call. All right, so let's get underway. All right, so the Broken Tusks are going to make their way southeast, and I am going to roll a random encounter.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how this game works now.
Dragon shows up and just breathes on half
Oh.
the tribe.
Uh-oh.
Is 20 good or 20 bad?
I think it's
don't
bad
know.
in this
20
one.
is bad.
Oh,
Can't be good. Oh, boy.
Listen, we started off by choosing poorly. We went southeast.
What can I tell
Nice
you?
knowing you, team.
what what can I tell you? It is
Like we're watching Knights of the Last Call stream.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right. Well, all right. Well, I didn't expect that to happen. But this is why we're here. All right. So let's move to a map here real quick.
Oh. Must be a diplomacy scene.
Yes.
It's definitely
Much negotiation will be had this day.
The name of the scene sounds
Crested
rough.
dinosaur.
Crested
It's a black
dinosaur.
void.
Yes, it is a black void. All
Wow,
right.
again.
Gosh.
I'm going to close this priority resources tab real
Oh,
quick.
gosh.
Oh no.
That is a huge
That
thing.
is huge.
All right. So
Oh fuck.
We are so small.
it's just large.
I'm so used to playing
Oh,
level
that's
20.
huge. That's 3
Pathfinder.
by
That's
3.
huge.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
3 by
huge.
3.
3 by 3.
Oh yeah, I don't make the rules. All right. So
Checks out.
listen, I don't make the rules. So remember, as we said before, the scouts although they're moving with the following, these are big hexes. And so as the group moves in towards the hills, I like to think that you guys are probably maybe a couple of miles ahead of the rest of the main body as the hillside starts to sort of undulate, and it's going to start reaching up into the foothills. And while you are coming through a low dell, and you can kind of see on either side of you sort of the sides of sort of the mounty, kind of the rising ridges, you spot up ahead a Grazing Hadrosaurid. Now, this is a herbivore, and you can tell this is one of the great, terrible lizards. That's right, it's a dinosaur. Kind of grazing through this area. However, it looks like the creature is kind of skittish and afraid. And is anybody trained in nature?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Heck yeah, I am.
So
Nice.
you know that this creature is typically a herd animal. And so for it to be alone by itself, it must have either gotten separated or cut off or something like that. And so the creature...
Oh, we should tame it and add it to our herd.
Yes, that is an option.
Then we will charge them.
And so, so this creature is sort of skittish and moving around. And what do you guys do? It's not moving.
I like that plan.
It's not moving particularly towards you, but it is sort of, grazing through the area. And again, as you mentioned before, these creatures, these hadrosaurids, are known as sort of perceptive creatures, and they give long, loud, bellowing cries when they, they're going to herd animal. They kind of like alert the herd of danger.
This thing's gonna
Stampede.
this thing's gonna make a. This is gonna be. I can see this going really badly.
Thron, you got the best nature check, right?
I assume
Probably, because if this is going to be with tame animal, I think it'll be +7. Plus, we have that tame animal. I have that tame animal feat.
And you get a +1 for the pendant.
That's what I'm including. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
And since it's not restrained, right? It can move around, and it's not actively hostile towards us.
Right. Well, it is very far away from you, by the way.
Right.
Yes.
He's
I'm just thinking.
planet
I'm
line.
thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I'm checking all the boxes for this. Although it will take about an hour. So
Yeah, we're in terms
All right.
of dazed clocks now, though. I think.
Correct. Although,
I definitely want to tame this thing if that's possible for us, but I just worry that a stampede, like Aaron said, is coming.
I have confidence in Thron. Thron, this is your new mount.
It is important to know that if we critically fail, which is likely because this thing's probably a higher level, it will attack.
It's
an herbivore.
Yeah, it's a herbivore.
They'll stampede.
Yeah,
What's
it
it
can
gonna do?
still step
Lick
on us,
It's gonna
like-
lick us.
I mean, we got to try.
We have to try. There's no choice.
Yes.
That animal instinct in me. I need to give it a.
So do we want to flank it or just let
Well, we don't want it to think we're
Thron
trying to
just-
kill it.
Just let Thron go up by himself.
I think we just sent Thron by himself.
Okay.
All right.
I
so,
move forward on
Animal to
my own.
animal.
all right. So Thron's moving forward. Droga, what are you and Barrick doing?
I'm just staying with the rest of our group. I assume we are just letting Thron try to talk to this animal with this tame animal, but I don't want to get too close and startle this thing.
Okay. So you're hanging
Eric
back.
said it was skittish. That might be because
Yeah.
it's away from the herd, or it might be because there's a predator nearby. If you want
Right.
around, for
I was
something.
wondering, like, where's the T-Rex that's about to come eat it, and the real
Right.
fight starts.
All right.
Yeah, that's why we throw our 40 HP person up front.
All right. So Joren, what do you want to do then?
Joren will look for poorly tracks of larger dinosaurs that might be hunting this guy,
All right, Joren.
or signs that something is nearby.
Yeah, Joren, why don't you give me a perception check, please? And thank you,
Oh,
sir.
perception.
Yeah,
Okay.
perception.
You can do
As
perception.
you use your eyes.
What?
I guess
Old man
I
eyes.
could have Barrick
All right.
Barrick sniff.
Besides, I saw the 19.
Well,
I got the 14.
That's okay, because as you look over the dell, Joren, you succeeded a DC 12 perception check, and you spot in the grass.
Oh my god, is this a clever girl scenario?
Oh boy.
No,
Oh, Thron almost walked
Oh.
into that.
Oh,
you spot several crude traps set in the grass near the dinosaur. And they're easy to spot from this angle. You're kind of up high, right? You can imagine that your guys are kind of coming down into the dell, right? From a higher elevation. So this is kind of like a low spot. So you're up kind of high. You have like a top shot on it.
Mhm.
And you can see that there is a variety, 3 kind of sets of stakes or some sort of snare trap, which are sort of roughly placed around sort of either side of this sort of large rocky prominence.
Are these art traps?
No,
Yeah, who made these? That's
you're not. You're not sure,
Uh-oh.
but the creature is sort of moving in a kind of a quasi-random kind of manner, and it does seem to be making its way towards the snare traps.
Well, Thron's also making his way towards the snare traps.
That's true.
I asked Brek to make the Broken Tusk bird call. That means pristine hoofs, stake snare, approximately 20 feet from your position northeast.
Tim,
Yes, Derek, I scream in sonar.
Tim, make a performance check.
This is oratory, correct? I'm going to
Oh,
add my
yeah.
feet
Oh,
modifier.
yeah, totally. Return.
Oh.
Math is tight.
Yeah, it's the secret language of your
Oh
people.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're enjoying it today.
You hear several sharp trills, Thron, which anybody of the plains might easily dismiss as natural sounds, but their pitch and timbre alert you that Brek has signaled danger. Be on guard.
All right.
Um,
Seeing this, I'll take a quick survey of my immediate surroundings.
Yeah,
See if
Thron.
there's anything that I spot.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check, Thron.
Oh no, where's my button?
Oh no.
First time anyone has to make a roll in Foundry.
They're like, how do buttons work?
bro.
Sorry.
All right, Thron. So as
right.
you kind of hold up, and I'm going to move you forward a couple more as you get closer.
Sure.
You can see now, less than 10 feet away from you is this a set of snare, which is basically a bunch of spikes, crude like wooden spikes, designed to entrap a large creature. In fact, essentially, as a medium-sized creature, this wouldn't have any effect on you. It's designed to trap large or huge sized creatures and force them to basically become hobbled and immobilized. But it's almost too large for a medium sized creature. Like you could just kind of like step into it and step out of it. It wouldn't actually grab you or snare you. So, but as you look at the design, you can see that this is a very crude snare, even by the standards of your people. I mean, you might be Kellid, but you take a pride, and you know you may not have the trappings of civilization, but your things are still very well made. This is crudely and roughly made. And the Hadrosaurid kind of sees you coming closer, Kaz, and it seems to kind of perk up onto its back legs. And again, this thing is probably about 20 feet long, right? So this thing is a massive beast, and it kind of gives a quick like alert.
Oh gosh.
As it kind of seems to be very skittish at your approach. But Joren kind of was right. The creature does seem to be skittish about something else.
Can Barrick make a little sniff, a little with his
Recall scent.
He's got imprecise scent 30 feet, so
Yes.
that's not gonna be enough to really get us.
Not enough. His range. But that being
Hold
said,
on.
Can't
What's the
even
wind
smell
like?
The
Is it-
dinosaur he's looking at.
here we'll roll the wind direction, Bob.
Yeah.
1 is to the west, 2 is to the north, 3 is to the east. Okay, so
okay.
so coming from the east, Barrick, the wind is basically blowing from right to left on your screen. Barrick doesn't seem to react to anything that is that is happening.
And we stay with the group then.
All right. So the creature still seems to be pretty skittish, and it seems to be getting closer and closer to these snares. Now it's kind of wandering over this way.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of maneuver to be like here, kind of doing the herding dog thing where I'm assuming that animal isn't going to want to get closer to me. So if I'm standing close to the snares, it'll keep the Hadrosaurid away from the snares.
All right.
What
What are the
You should like
And
quick
then-
jump yourself onto them rocks.
I'm gonna start moving to the west
Okay.
and start heading towards the tree line.
Okay, great. Why don't you go ahead and move yourself about halfway there, Smith?
I assume I'm just following the group then, so we
What-
can
what about-
all go together.
What about you, Brek?
Yeah, I'd be going there with Joren as
I'm
well.
gonna try to keep an eye out to see if I see anything moving in the tree line.
Great. All right, everybody make a perception check. Joren, make it with a +2 circumstance bonus. As you specifically said, you're looking at the tree line.
Did mine not come through for some reason?
I think it's loading or something. Was I on the wrong thing?
And
Oh,
there,
there
there
we
it
go.
is.
It was like it was loading
I
something.
was like, I'm not gonna click it. I think it's gonna happen.
All right. Guess what? Those are your initiatives. All right.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was so clever.
Whoa! It's like
There was all that coming.
All right. So as you begin making your way towards the tree line, you could see, kind of crouched into the darkness of the trees, a band of 3 orc hunters, savages who roam the plains and compete with the Kellids both for prey and as well as attack weaker followings, trying to raid them, burn them, destroy them, and take what they can by my might and power. And we're here to try to kill and capture this Hadrosaurid. But now that
shit on their day.
now that you guys are here, they will, and you're getting close to their tree line, they're going to try to rush out and attack you, or at least be
I
hostile.
didn't see their name on that tree line.
That is true.
Or
All
this Hadrosaurid.
All right. Let me begin the encounter. All right. Let me roll for the orcs. All right. And then, Joren, you got an 18, right?
I did apparently.
I never remember how. Oh, you don't have an initiative score. I don't actually know how to set someone's initiative score in Foundry.
Oh, weird. I
Well,
just right click and it gave me one. That was weird.
I can
Mine should
re-roll.
be a 1.
I know. No,
Oh,
I
usually
you're
I
dead.
just roll and redo it.
Do you know how to do that, Bob?
Usually I edit it just after the roll.
But you can't just edit it.
I don't remember from the GM side.
All
I
right,
thought
Brek.
you could,
You got a 6?
and I got
7.
a 15.
Droga got a 15 initiative. Joren, you got a
18.
16. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
don't
Did you
this
say
is
Droga or Joren? I can't tell.
Joren
18.
Thron.
16.
Okay. All right. Well, Joren, you're going to go first, but not first in the combat, unfortunately. As this
The orc sub chief, but where's the orc chief?
right.
Hmm.
Why is
Oh.
it saying that Brek goes first? Sometimes this game doesn't make any sense.
Brek's a fighter.
Oh,
Fighters always go first.
it just
Because fighters got to fight.
it just assumed. I just assumed that he did this.
Sub-chief imply a dom chief?
All right. So the orc sub chief is going to start off with a bellowing battle cry. He gives himself and all orc allies within 60 feet a +1 status bonus to attack and damage rolls until the start of his next turn. Rah! Then he is going to stride forward his speed, which is 25 feet, and then he is going to target Joren, who's in the lead, and he is going to chuck, you guessed it, a javelin at you.
Yes, talking's out.
And he is going to I don't actually know. There we go.
And you get the Wii music on here.
All right. And the javelin goes sailing overhead and gets a 16 and misses you. That range penalty really hurt. All right.
Yeah, it's a javelin.
It is a javelin. And then I'm going to be very smart and I'm going to pop out my combat tracker. Because I am a smart person. All right, Joren, you're actually up next. All right, so 3 orcs break from the tree line and they begin attacking you. The orc chief rages and howls for his warriors to come and attack you, and javelin whizzes past your head, but does not find its strike. Does not find its true target. All right, what are you gonna do?
All right, Joren gives a returning battle cry. And he's going to run forward. And then he's going to run forward. And then he's going to stabby stab.
Stabby stab.
Joren charges the orc subtree with a roar. I forgot we had podcast listeners on the show. And stabs forth with his spear.
All right, sounds good.
Booking, please wait.
All right. Well, we are well met. You did forget to target, but his AC is 19, and you missed.
Okay, done.
All right. So your turn ends. All right. So this Orc Warrior is going to go next. His speed is 25 feet. So unfortunately, getting a flank with you is exactly 30 feet. So he is going to double move to there. He's going to target you, and he is flanking.
Conga line.
Yeah. Well, I think this is just called flanking.
No,
yeah, but then he's going to get flanked
but
soon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah.
We've done this conga dance many
Will
times.
begin.
All right. And, it's a 23.
Ooh.
So the orc neck splitter stabs and crashes into you for 10 points of damage as the orc flanks with his chieftain and, driven on by the battle cry, lands a solid and devastating blow. And that is his turn.
Yikes.
All right. Thron, you're up next.
All right. Seeing my ally in threat, I will make my first 25-foot move.
Yep.
There we go. I'll get there eventually. And now I will activate sudden charge.
Okay.
And come tearing across the battlefield. 50 feet.
All right. Well, see, not enough distance to get to the
right
flank.
Not quite there.
Okay.
But we bring an absolute haymaker.
Do not forget
of an 8 fist.
Do not forget to target, please.
Yes.
There
There we
Bingo.
go.
All right. Thron, you rush across the battlefield. Oh, and the Orc Warrior turns and he leaps back as your massive fist just pounds into the earthy, loamy ground. And the Orc Warrior cackles as he prepares to counteract and counterattack you. Droga, melee has been joined on the far side of the battlefield. The Hadrosaurid is sort of starting to get a little finicky and panicky as combat and shouting starts to break up. You're not 100% sure what it's about to do, but it looks very nervous. Meanwhile, orcs have engaged. Joren and Thron are in a fearsome melee. All right, what do you do, buddy?
Going to command Brek to flank with this Orc Warrior that is flanking with Joren.
Okay.
That's going to be his double move to get there.
Yep.
Okay. Or I guess I could do that afterwards. Because is he going to block my shot to him?
I think your shot is blocked anyways because of Brek.
Oh.
You are standing right behind my 6'7" body.
So big.
So big.
So big.
So,
So
no matter what, it's gonna be
muscular.
a +1.
No
to
matter
the-
what,
big.
he's going to have light cover. Yeah.
All right. Well, then we're just gonna do it anyway. Then. So
Or
we're just
lesser
gonna
cover. Sorry, lesser cover.
Yes. So we're gonna hunt prey him,
Okay.
and I assume that's a society check for my
Yep.
action.
Yep. Yep.
If I can actually click on my guy again. There we go.
DC is 15.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Just a regular success.
All right. Well,
It's
you
walk.
you have fought orcs many a time, as you have been, here on the plane. Like attacks and raids by orcs are, I would venture to say, fairly common. And you should now be able to hover over them and get their stats.
Very nice.
So you can see they have 23 of 23 hit points, AC
These guys are
19,
chonkers.
8 fort, 7 reflex, 4 will save.
All right. Then we're going to do my single action.
Yes.
Hunted shot.
Right. So first action was command Barrick, the
Yep.
bear. Second action was hunt prey, which you got a free recall knowledge on because of your monster hunter feat. And then your third action is hunted shot, which will let you to make 2 attacks for 1 action against your hunted prey. So the first shot comes in and, ooh, that is a hit.
Boom.
Are you attacking the sub chief?
No.
Target sub chief.
It's a
Shoot,
very-
shoot, shoot.
It's a very complicated game, people. There's these like crosshairs that target a
Then I saw Cass's pink dot, and I was like, I'm on it.
Anybody who says that VTTs are easier than playing at a table, I would. You need to come in.
We all knew that Orc Warrior #1 was
We need to have a workshop with us and the knights. All right, so Bob, you strike the Orc Warrior for 5 points of damage. He
Yep.
takes it, and then your second shot comes in. This one does have map, and you
map
miss
attack.
by 1 because of the.
No, actually, that hits because he still has a sub chief targeted, and the sub chief has a higher AC than your orc warrior. Nope.
Nope.
I'm lying
No.
to you.
No,
They
they're
okay.
the same.
Yes, they have the same armor class. That's
Yeah.
fine.
They have the same
Yep.
armor class. All right.
That is my turn.
All right. I think he has too many hit points for his.
Ah,
All right. The Orc Warrior is going to engage, I guess, here. 2 moves, flank Thron.
ooh, it's a
Oh,
angled conga line.
Yeah, it's slightly askew.
mixing it up.
Yes,
you
it's-
can tell we're reaching the higher levels of Pathfinder
I know.
tactics now.
All right, and here comes the attack roll with a +1 status bonus.
Ooh.
He's on the flank. Thron's AC is down to 16 as yet another Orc Warrior emerges from the forest line, brandishing his Orc neck splitter. He brings it down upon Thron, and he hits him with a forceful blow that deals 10 points of damage. Crunch. But of course, he took 2 actions to get there, so he is all done. Brek, with the
Well.
very, very bad initiative roll, that
Yes.
brings up you. So
Unfortunately for that foolish Orc Warrior, he has moved within 1 stride of Brek.
Oh,
And that will seal his fate.
Complete the conga line.
Rushes
Yes!
forward
we've
2
now
axes
achieved
and double
maximum
slices.
maximum conga line. Everyone but the ranger is now in 1 complete order. All right, so we got double slash. You missed by
Oh,
1.
man.
Naturally, with the big weapon, the mace,
And
there's
of-
the
and
hatchet
of
coming
course-
through.
the hatchet.
Hatchet always
The
delivers.
hatchet always delivers.
Always the hatchet, baby.
solid.
A solid 10 damage from the hatchet, which is max damage aside from a crit, obviously, of course.
And that is the end of my turn.
All right, and the Orc Warrior takes 10 points of damage. Let's see. Joren, did you raise your shield?
I did not.
All right. Yeah, I think the sub-chief is just going to attack you.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, he pulls out his massive great club and he springs swinging down upon you. It's a 26.
Oh, just
Almost a
missed.
crit.
That's close.
Almost a critical hit as the massive club deals 13 points of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
It is a lot of
Mhm.
damage. And then he is going to follow it up. I should have done this first. He bellows his battle cry. Oops, my bad. And then he follows that up with his map attack as he swings the massive club back. But he rolls a 9, and with the penalty, he misses as the massive club has too much momentum after a massive hit like that. Joren, your turn.
All right, Joren will now raise his shield.
Yep.
And he will target the orc behind him.
Yep.
He will stab the Orc Warrior with a spear.
Yes. And that warrior is flat.
Nice hit.
Critical hits. Critical hits.
There we go.
I should have rolled damage. So I hit damage, not critical.
You hit
Just
damage,
double
not
that.
critical. Also, I'll double it.
Double.
So he takes 10 points of damage. All right. He is
Lame crit. Lame
He's-
crit.
it's not that great of a hit. Oh, you rolled a 2. Yeah, 2 on a d6. So, but he is badly injured. And Joren, you have 1 action left.
I prepare to aid.
All right, that sounds good. All right, well, the Orc Warrior goes next, and he smells blood. He's going to attack Joren, and he is going to attack you with his neck splitter as he brings it down upon you. It's a 25.
He's going down.
He swings his gets a 1. It's only 5 points of damage.
That's what he's at.
Well, I'm going to have to use my reaction on that. So.
He has a shield raised. He can shield block.
Excellent.
So Aaron, just I think your shield blocks 4 now because of the
does block 4 now.
Right.
Yep.
So you only take 1 point of damage. And let's see, with a map of 5, your shield is still up, so that's pretty pointless against you. He is going to swing his neck splitter at the bear, who has a much lower armor class. But he rolls a 3, and he actually critically misses. So, all right.
Wow.
Thron.
Seeing my ally take the hit that he takes, I fly into a rage.
Sure.
And on my very first action, I just bring my, again, massive 8 fist in. There it is. 21 to hit.
Nice.
All right. That hits.
And so he will take 15 damage.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, he takes 8 because the rest of it kills him, and he is slain as you smash him down into the ground.
All right. And then I will spin around. Actually, I will. Yeah, I'm going to just spin around for the moment and prepare to aid the next attack that Tim brings in.
Oh, snap.
All right. Well, Droga, you're up next, and I'm going to have to zoom out for you, buddy, because you're kind of way the hell back here. All right, Droga.
Yeah. I was going to shoot this guy, but if Tim's going.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind the Orc Subchief is uninjured.
I know, that's why I need
this
to hit.
warrior goes before I do.
And
so.
he's in melee with your 4 hit point cleric.
Yep.
And plus, if you kill this guy, it frees me up to go,
Also, my
for the
clerk is
subject.
down his reaction. So
Right.
I could kill the Orc Warrior to allow you to go right at the sub chief.
Now, is this Orc
Or you
Warrior
can start
your
attacking
hunted
the
prey?
sub-chief.
It is not. I would have to hunt prey on it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Um,
Droga, you got decisions to make. So,
Yeah, I'm
If
gonna
you're
hunt.
prey. I would go for the sub chief, just for
Well, no.
action economy.
But then I'm not gonna be able to do. I have to move to get a good shot on him without the +1.
right, this
Yeah,
Orc,
but
this
you
Orc
just-
Warrior for you is a clear and complete
Yeah.
shot.
So I could just hunt prey, shoot, like no issue. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
Hunt prey.
Yep.
And then this is my hunted prey. And I'm going to do my hunted shot.
Yep. Per twang, pew pew. Oh, well, you rolled a 4, so that's no good.
Aw.
And second shot coming in.
Oh,
Hey, that'll do it.
25.
did you roll
So
that
it's-
with map?
It automatically does.
With the flurry, yeah. I see
Yep.
that.
Oh, yeah, the flurry's only -3. Yeah, big. That's a big hit.
Okay.
All right, 6 damage.
It's not a
Not
ton,
enough.
but
You have 1 action left, Droga. What do you want to do with it?
I'm gonna shoot him one more time.
Right. All right, so now you're at -6.
Ooh.
But you have hero points. And remember, we use mutants and mastermind style hero points in this edition. So that is a critical miss with a net roll of a 6.
All right, let's get that hero point going then.
All right,
Oh.
here it comes.
spend.
Spend. Remember, you're going to be rolling a d20 here, Bob. Just roll a d20. There's a whole thing underneath your chat bar that's just designed to roll a d20. So that's
There
seven.
we go.
Oh,
So that 17 is a 17 plus 3 is a 20, and that is another hit.
Nice.
So your third arrow sings true as you call deep upon your broken tusk. Oh, it's a 6.
Oh, there we go.
Is that enough? Is that enough? Oh,
No!
he's at 1 hit point. He's at 1 hit point. He goes.
what a waste of a turn.
He's going to turn at the raging barbarian, and he is going to go full neck splitter into you.
Oh.
He is battle cried up, so here comes the +8 attack. Oh, it was on a 19. Oh, you saw it. Oh, you saw it. It was on the 19. It rolls over to a nat 1 Just a complete and total miss. He is going to attack you with his map. That's a 15, still a miss. And then he is going to use, I guess, well, he's flanked. He attacked twice. He's going to move back this way.
I'll make an attack of opportunity against him. Or Kaz, you have one as well? Something you want to do?
Well, my reaction is to move with him.
Right, but if Tim kills him, then you won't have a reaction to move.
Dead.
All right, so Tim, you make your reaction as he's about to leave this square. So
yes,
go ahead and make your attack
I'm
of opportunity.
going to target him and strike.
Yep,
get him.
Oh yeah,
critical hit. He has 1 hit point, but we'll let
Tim.
No, 24 damage, just immediately, just insta gived. All right, but
metal axe just slices his head off as he tries to flee.
Yep, and it's conveniently enough, Brek, your turn.
Yes, he uses the momentum to just run forward.
Yep.
And we're bringing in both axes for the double slice. We're going to try 2 different directions this time instead of the same one.
Got it. And I assume you did not have enough movement to get on the flank.
No, not without like sudden charging or something.
Got it.
So I'll take the second attack.
He wanted that double slice.
He wants the double slice. I mean, it's pretty good. All right, buddy.
All right, the battle axe coming in first.
Joren, your aid is down, right? Because
I use my reaction to keep playing the game.
Yeah,
so.
correct.
That's only 16. Here comes the hatchet, though. Oh no!
Oh,
no, the hatchet.
Now, Brek, you got like 2 hero points.
Use the hero point. There you go.
Fighter
the
is
hatchet,
this?
because the hatchet is trustworthy.
You're using it on the hatch.
Yeah,
on the hatchets.
All right. I respect that. No, wait. That's he rolls it. He rolled a nat 1, so that's treated as an 11. With your
22.
plus 11 is a 22, which is a hit.
Oh my gosh, fighters.
And you do
6 damage.
6 points of damage. All right, Brek, your turn is
That's
over.
the end of my turn. Yeah.
All right. So the sub chief is going to throw his first attack into Brek and his second attack into Joren. No, he'll
Kill Joren. Kill
All right,
Joren.
yeah.
Kill Joren.
All right, we'll attack Joren first. It's a 24.
Oh,
man.
I got nothing against that.
6 damage.
Down.
Oh, that's down.
All right, so Joren falls to the ground, crumpled. He turns towards Brek, and he brings his great club in against him.
Yeah, he does.
And he gets a 12, which is not a lot. And then the orc will shift to here.
I see you've learned some tactics, orc.
All right, Joren, I'm going to move you ahead of the orc sub-chief as you fall unconscious. Thron, Joren.
Lower my shield.
You lower your shield. That sounds about appropriate.
Yeah.
Thron, Joren falls as the great club of the orc sub-chieftain finally, after 3 rounds of battling the war cleric, war priest, finally breaks through. And the shield is not quick enough, and Joren collapses. But not dying 2, just dying 1. Thron.
Just your normal dying.
I'm in no mental state to render aid to my ally. I must exact vengeance.
Respect.
Checks out.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
All right. He makes an attack of opportunity against you. Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The orc war chief swings out at you as you pass by him. His massive great club going straight from Joren, straight to your face. Oh, it's a 15.
Oh, he even misses the barbarian.
He misses. Thanks, Tim.
You can't see me.
To be clear,
And in my
Listen, my double
frenzy-
slice was disappointing. All right.
all right. I'll respect. All right, Ape Fist. All right, Raging Ape Fist on the flank. His attack of opportunity is down. It's a hit by 0 because of the flank. You get a 17.
Nice.
The guy's AC is 19, but he is flanked with Brek, so his AC is it's a max damage. D10 rolls a 10. That's 16 points of damage, and the sub chief takes a massive hit, but still manages to cling to life. All right.
That was brutal.
Wow.
Thron, do you have any other
and
actions?
He has
My
one, doesn't
third
he?
action, I will prepare. I will render aid. I'm now in. I'm doing the hands thing on him.
Got
it. So another
Throwing
8.
hands.
Throwing hands.
All right, Droga.
Delay to Brek.
Brek.
All right,
It's
Brek
so much easier for you to kill this guy than
just
me.
screams in its face. I'm gonna make a demoralized check.
Everyone just delays to the fighter.
Yeah.
There we go.
That is a hit.
All right, he is demoralized,
All right. He is, I believe, frightened.
and now he shall be hopefully cleaved in twain. No,
Here's-
not
Oh
with that
my
one.
What is with these
That'll-
ones
Oh,
tonight?
it's a double nat one! It's double nat one! Double nat one from Brek!
I'm gonna use a hero point on the battle axe this time.
And by the way, the sub chief's reaction is down, so he can't be.
3 nat ones.
He can't use ferocity right now. This is the time to try to end him.
So is this where my aid can kick in?
There
Well,
we
it doesn't.
go.
Yeah, you would have to do that actually after he rolls, but
Aid. Because if you
Aid
aid, you
now.
might crit.
yeah.
He could crit.
Yeah.
No. Remember, there's no roll, so all Kaz has.
No. I'm saying if Kaz aids with like athletics
Wow.
because he's an expert in it,
Correct.
Yes.
Brek will hit by a +10.
That's true.
Correct. Technically, Kaz, you have to aid before he rolls, but it's fine for this purposes. So,
Who said he prepared?
yes, but you can't aid
Declare it.
after the D20 roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to
well.
aid before the D20 roll. But we'll let bygones be bygones.
There we go.
I don't know what this check
There's
is.
no die roll.
We've-
There's no
you-
die
you-
roll.
no
You
die
don't
roll.
have to roll.
There is
okay.
no die.
That was with my athletics.
Yeah. Normally, see, for example, if we were playing normal Pathfinder, you would have added nothing. Instead, you add +2 because you're an expert in athletics because you're a wrestler. Brek turns a 14. Or I'm sorry. Would you turn it?
A 24.
plus-
A
24
24 into a
26.
26, and the creature's AC is 16 because it is AC 19, but it is flanked, so that makes it AC 17, but it is
Okay.
frightened, so its
Right.
AC is 16. So the aid, the flank, and the frighten conspire to give you a critical hit. And the
Right.
10 hit point creature is instead dead.
Yay.
Go Fizz.
That's how you delay, boys.
All right.
Now
Droga.
I just look at Thron and hope he calms down.
Um,
Because
I guess we're out of
front
time.
him.
Joren is dying.
He does look like he's dying.
Yes. So
I impart some important knowledge about the PC's quest to them and then die.
Just accepted it.
I can actually go over it and make a medicine check on him.
all right, sounds good.
Excellent. I'm not trained, so I will not aid you.
Medicine.
Yep.
Oh,
wow.
Wow, success.
23.
That was a heck of a roll. It gave us the 14, the 20,
All right.
the
What is
3.
battle? Is it what is the
Do you have battle medicine?
No.
Okay,
no,
so you're
no,
just
no.
stabilizing.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
I just
you are no longer dying, Aaron.
Can Cass take a feat for this?
He can now use nature instead of his medicine check.
Well,
But
I can put
but-
cast guidance on
but
someone.
this was administer first aid.
Yep.
If you have 0 hit points in the dying condition, you are stabilized. The DC is only 5 plus your recovery roll, so 15 plus its dying value. So DC 16, and he got a 23. So Aaron, you are no longer dying. So you lose the dying condition, but you remain unconscious.
Yeah, I'll wake up eventually. You guys should go tame that dinosaur.
Well,
yeah.
I can treat wounds now, right?
Yes, if you have a healer's kit, but Smith,
Oh.
Aaron has a healer's kit on him, so you can. But the
And I
dinosaur.
will, cast guidance on him when he does that.
All right.
Well-
sounds good.
okay.
All right.
So you using a mix of my herbalism, we talked about this, and
Yep.
my natural I'm gonna use nature here.
Yep.
So I gain a
He's
+2
just
circumstance bonus
grass
to
in my
treat
wounds.
Yes. King's foil. Aye, it's a weed. All right. Yeah, there you
It's
go.
a weed.
All right. So it's DC 15, Cass,
+2 circumstance bonus
and plus
for
1
my-
status bonus from the guidance from the fighter
Yeah.
bard.
I think you can drag it onto you.
Yeah, you don't really
Why
need
for one roll?
You really don't even need to. You could. We're not in
Yeah.
combat right now, so you could literally just roll a d20 for all I care. All right. Well, you got a 15. So that's all that
Alright.
matters. So you're
Nice.
going to heal Aaron for 2d8. And then so the most important thing is he's not unconscious for like another hour. So
Right.
you gain
go.
11 hit points there, Mr.
Hey,
Smith.
nice.
Pretty good roll. And now the Hadrosaurid is very skittish, but you guys took care of that. It never triggered any of the traps, so it is still kind of hanging about. So,
All right.
Run. Go get it.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Kaz, if you want to try to tame animal,
Am I still guided?
No, it only lasts once, and
No.
then you can't get it for another hour.
Yeah.
All right, so Kaz, attempt a nature check.
Yes. So I have my pendant, which provides me a +1
Yep.
item bonus
Yep.
to this check.
Does anybody else trained in nature and or
Yeah.
with tame animal?
And I can aid him for 1.
You can aid him for one.
With tame animal?
No, we'll say that you don't.
Nature.
We'll say only the person making the check needs.
Okay.
You could just use you could bring it. It's like favorite herbs and leaves or something like that. You know.
Okay.
All right, Kaz, go for it.
Yep.
All right. So this is another plus aid.
Yep.
+1. And all right, here we go.
Yep. The DC is 21.
Oh, it doesn't look too good.
Oh.
What about
Not a
that hero
critical
point?
failure.
What about them hero points?
All right, you
Use
failed.
it. Use it.
You fail to make any sort of meaningful impact on the animal. It starts to lose interest in you.
Shoot.
But
Damn, we could have had this. Go chase it.
all right, so I will say this: you guys can spend more time chasing after the Hadrosaurid, but it will take you another day.
Ah.
Is anything more important than having a dinosaur?
I don't
Can
know.
Can we just shoot? Can we shoot
that
it for
is
its meat?
You can
I
also
accept
try.
this as a point. I would like to hero point my roll.
Okay. I was gonna say,
All right.
well, there's a couple options you could do at this point. Number one, you could let it go and move back to the camp. Two, you could pursue it and try to tame it again, but that's gonna basically mean that you're not gonna get to move today. You're gonna be stuck here today. The third option is what Bob suggested. You could try to kill it, which would not only provide food for the people, but also could provide valuable monster parts that might make for cool dinosaur armor.
All right. Well, does anyone know anything about this dinosaur before we do that?
It's huge.
Other than that, it's huge.
It's a big daddy dinosaur. Yeah, you can make a nature check to see what you know about it.
Right. So someone who knows nature things should do that.
I've never seen nature before.
Me neither.
I
only know how to survive.
I'm
in
role
it.
playing Ben.
I meditate
city.
on it,
This is
and this
Connecticut.
should be an additional +1.
You know that it's a dinosaur.
Looks
Dinosaurs
like a
have
dinosaur
parts.
to me, guys.
Dinosaurs have parts, guys.
All right, I am hero pointing that roll because
Okay.
riding a dinosaur.
Yeah, if not,
as
I'm
a
shooting this thing.
barbarian would be the most badass thing in the world. So here we go. Here's the D20. There it is.
So 12 plus.
12 plus 5.
Nice.
You got one better, I think, right?
No, it's a nature
No,
check.
it's plus.
It's the
It's plus
At
8.
least +7, so +8 because of guy.
8,
or
yeah.
whatever
it's
the other
20.
ones do.
DC. It's 20. He
To be
rolled.
clear, what check is this?
Nature.
Tame animal.
This is
Oh,
train.
No. This is not this is the initial tame animal.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Got
Yes.
it. Your total is?
20.
20.
Yeah, you failed by 1. It's
Okay.
It's will
I
save. It's will save is 21 or
I
DC
take out
is
my bow and shoot this thing.
I'm like, hey, buddy.
he failed to tame it. Starts walking away. I shoot it. I live for the hunt.
All
right.
I mean, I can't deny that. All right, I guess we're going
Yeah.
into initiative order against a level 4 monster. Here we go.
Oh, this is gonna be crazy.
Come on. Well, it'll be an interesting end of the session. One way or another.
One way or the other. Let me. I'm still in this encounter. I was not expecting that this was going to happen, but all right.
Wild card.
Bob, I'm just going to let you go first
Yes.
because
Yeah.
obviously you are. This initiative is more like you, the rest of the party, and the dinosaur reacting to you being
Trying to murder it.
just you being an idiot. All right. All right. So let me roll Droga's initiative, and I'm going to put him at the top. All right. Everybody else, roll your initiative normal. All right. Brek with a 24. Nice.
Ooh.
Thron with a
I
9.
am completely caught off guard.
That makes total sense.
Yeah,
You're like, no, Thron's like, bow to my will.
Yeah. And
Friend?
Brek's like, don't you dare.
Droga's like holding, patwang. All right, Droga. I'm going to say that the creature is flat-footed. Because
perfect.
because Droga was literally spending the last, or I'm sorry, Thron was literally spending the last hour trying to console it and become friends with it and tempt it with like, come on, we got food, like maybe you want to eat this grass. Come on, buddy.
You want to eat this grass?
All right, so Droga, do your thing. Actually, Thron, I'm going to put you out in front. because you were kind of trying to be nice to it.
Doing the
Just don't block my shot.
Droga, I'm going to put you actually here.
Oh, sweet, good.
Because you were assisting.
Barracks by me.
All right,
as always.
and I'll leave Joren and Brek in the back.
Derek,
All
did you
right.
say it took Thron an hour to do that?
Yes, so if you want to make another medicine check, Joren, on yourself, you absolutely can. Or you could cast a
Nice,
spell,
well played.
obviously.
Casting spells? What kind of clerk do you think I am?
I forgot. I'm sorry. You're a war priest. I'm sorry. There is no casting spells where you come from.
I thought I clicked something, but
All right. Well, I'm gonna hunt prey it, and
Well,
then
you can wait, Bob. It's called patience, and we're going to wait for someone else to
I
make-
push buttons and nothing's happening. so-
Oh, okay. I was trying to act fast.
No, that's okay. I just want to get this out of the way first, but apparently, I guess Foundry isn't working. Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
don't know.
All right.
See if I can do it.
Oh, there we go.
goes
Oh,
the
well, all right.
Oh,
That was not my role. I was just seeing if it worked.
Yeah,
that was a perception roll.
no, it was just it's just not even a roll. He just
It was
rolled
a flat d20.
He just rolled a
Yeah.
flat d20.
Oh.
He actually has to make a medicine check.
Oh, do I have to? I don't know why.
This is why the ribbons are so nice. It's like
There we go. I got it.
I agree, Bob. I like the ribbon. Hey, all right. So you successfully heal yourself for 6.
nice.
All right.
All right,
All right, back to you, Droga.
nature check.
Hey, 22.
Oh,
That-
nice.
Sweet.
That
You
ac-
know how high level it is.
that actually yes. That's
How effed are
that,
we?
that actually checks out. Yes, you know about this creature as you sort of take some time. You've been watching it now for an hour, and you can see now that the creature has 60 hit points,
Not too bad.
19 armor class, a plus 12 fort, a plus 10 reflex, a plus 11 will, and a speed of 30.
Sweet.
Everything has 19 armor class in this fight.
It is very strange, but that is actually
and we
checks
all
out.
have 19 AC except for Thron.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
the one standing right next
you know
to
what?
it.
Actually, hold on a sec. No, his AC is 21, but he's flat-footed to
got it.
That
Um,
makes more or less sense.
yes. Okay.
All right. Well, this is gonna be a little harder, but pew pews off two quick shots.
All right, and because this is a hunted shot, I'm going to let both of these be flat. All right, we start off with a nice roll of a 2. That misses by 8.
Okay. Oh, that might be something. That's a hit.
Yeah, for 4 damage.
Whoop-de-doo.
Wow.
Archery.
He's in
So if
trouble.
we do that 15 more times,
He's in he's in
Got
trouble.
this, Droga.
He's in
Does the dinosaur know that he has been attacked?
Yeah.
he's in trouble now, boys. Brek, unfortunately, you see Droga fire 2 quick shots. Droga, you have 1 action left.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, 1 action.
I'm actually gonna move up here behind my barbarian buddy.
I thought he was running away.
No.
I was
then you gonna
expecting
stand
to.
behind me?
All right,
Yes.
Brek.
Yeah, why not?
Out of nowhere, Droga says, "Enough talk!" Choom choom, and just starts shooting his arrow.
As I'm running towards the barbarian.
Pakano did nothing wrong. As he just starts.
Well, I'm gonna.
By the way,
Garrett.
this thing has a lot of hit points, and it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, we're aware. Well, Bob isn't, but we are.
I mean, a lot of damage.
all right, I'm gonna move over there,
The only thing that
Yeah.
might,
Garrett.
the only
and then I'm
thing,
gonna try and demoralize him. I have intimidating glare.
okay,
Good luck.
okay. All right. Well, I told you it's will save. You know it's will save. You can hover over it. Its
Yep.
will save is 21. So
Yeah.
There you go.
22.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Be
creature.
afraid of me, dinosaur.
You give it.
Afraid.
You give it like the predator's eye, you know, like when people like a sheepdog, because it's a freaking poor innocent
Yeah.
herbivore. That might be your only saving grace. Is I might have this creature like run away because it's literally an herbivore.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
All right, Brek. What else do you got for me?
That's it. That's all 3 of my actions.
Oh, okay, great. Well, the Hadrosaurid is gonna come smash you.
I'm so afraid of you. Die. Fight or flight.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, it's definitely gonna come over here and smash you. Does it have
Not the
reach?
person who shot him.
It should have reach.
No, actually, it does not.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it does. 15 feet with its tail. My
yeah,
bad.
that makes sense.
Oh, you know what? This is even better. Actually, I'm going to totally do this action. It's going to trample.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh wait, does that go through?
Yeah, so it's going to move double its speed
Is
and
that
can
gonna go through Kaz and me?
Yeah, the monster strides up to double its speed and can move through the spaces of creatures of the listed size, so large or smaller, which is obviously you guys.
Should have tamed that son of a bitch.
Trampling each creature whose space it enters. The monster can attempt to trample the same creature only once. It deals the damage of the listed trike, but trampled creatures can attempt a basic reflex save, aka DC 21, to take half damage, and this is going to be its foot damage if it does it trample. So first things first, let me roll its foot damage as it smashes through. All right, so it's only 11 damage. Now its speed is 30, so it can move 60 feet. So it's going to move to here. Boom, that's 30. And then it's going to move another.
That's 90 feet.
Yeah, why is it doing that?
I don't know why it's
Is there
doing that.
difficult terrain on the map?
No, I don't have any. But oh, you know what? Because I moved it back. That's why I thought I was moving it back. All right, so it's going to move 60 feet to there. It takes 3 actions. All 3 of you have to make a reflex save. Now, Tim, this does provoke an attack of opportunity from you. So,
Which happens first? Does it matter?
it would trample you first.
Okay.
So everybody that would be Droga, Thron, and Brek make a DC 21 basic reflex save. We got a 16 failure from Droga, a 12 from Thron, that's a failure, an 18 from Brek, that's a failure. So you each take 11 points of damage. Thron almost takes 22 because he almost critically failed. And then Brek, as the creature kind of tramples over you, kind of in a panic, right? It's basically almost like, kind of like stampeding, basically.
Yep. So then I swing out at it with my axe.
Oh, and
I hit by 0.
You hit by 0. So you hit it once with your axe, and it takes 8 damage. All right. Only 12 more of those, and then it's done.
That's right.
And then at the end of the creature's turn, it's no longer flat-footed, and its turn is
What you thinking, Joren?
I gotta move, and I don't know. I may have to.
Whoa, Brek,
All right, that was for some reason when I use the ruler and then hit space like to turn it, it instead moves my token. It's very weird.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So Joren's seen complete and utter pandemonium break out before him as Droga loses his shit, and then the dinosaur just tramples over everyone, runs forward, and ushers a very quick prayer heal from Serenade to heal Thron.
Got it.
Thron's going to need to take those hits here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So 2 action heal.
2 action heal.
Rivo in the chat says, "Put that Titan wrestler feet to work, Kaz."
Yeah, here it goes.
Ooh, good heal.
Oh, that's a good heal.
Nice.
Good heal. 15 points healed to Thron.
Actually, that should be level 2. Why didn't this auto heighten?
Because you are not level 2 yet. That's not till level 3.
You're right. Sorry, spells. I'm an idiot.
Spell level
spells.
2 is gained at level 3.
I've been playing this campaign also for like 4 months, it feels like. So I'm like, I gotta be at least casting level 2 spells now. Come on.
Checks out. Maybe we will be after this if we live.
So Joren, you moved and 2 action heal, so you're done. So
Yeah, I'm
Thron, you are face to face with a very pissed off, massive Hadrosaurid who just trampled over more than half of the party.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to attempt to grapple this. This.
That's
We're gonna make bad
suplex.
If we're gonna make bad decisions, we're gonna go all in on the bad decision.
Sounds great.
On the
Let's do it.
Hadrosaurid.
All right.
All right. So
All right. You know what? Out of respect for the chat, who is very excited about this, Kaz, I'm going to preempt you with a hero point.
I promise to use that hero point on this if I fail.
So you go in to wrestle the huge dinosaur.
The huge dinosaur. Here we go. So I make an athletics check against its fortitude save,
Which I'm sure is its best.
DC 22.
Yep. Again, anyone can hover over it and see what its save is.
Oh.
21.
It's frightened. It's frightened.
It
You have frightened on it?
No, it frightened ended at the end of its turn.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did it.
All right, so here's the good news, Kaz. If that hero point, that's the worst you can possibly roll.
Yes. So here we go.
Right.
With the hero point.
Combat and tactics rework. Brek, so that 5 is a 15, which
15,
plus 10
yes.
is 25. So the
25.
creature is grappled.
Very nice.
grab it around its neck.
Yeah, I don't know that
Throw
you.
my legs up around its underside. I don't know. It's huge.
He like lifts up some backs, like the legs are coming up.
Yeah, you like
Like
do
I'm
a
a
Nintendo
marsupial.
64 Bowser. You grab it by the tail and start spinning him. And
Oh, yeah.
Well, Usher's like,
All right, well, Thron, you've got the dinosaur. I mean, the good news is it's immobilized, so it cannot trample. So
Yes.
that's a win. The
Yeah.
bad news is, what are you going to do now?
Can I?
Pin it.
So, as a reminder,
a
it is
thing?
grabbed, which means it is flat-footed and it is immobilized.
All right. Well, I guess we're doing this. I'm gonna hit it with. Actually, I'm gonna rage now.
Yeah.
Got it.
I love
Okay.
that you weren't before.
Now he's angry.
Grabbing it and
Now
wrestling
I'm
it was the
pissed.
rational thought.
beat into submission. That's how we'll tame it.
So
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
you have
Pure
one action
submission.
left, Thron.
I guess through my I'm gonna be aiding the next strike that comes.
Yeah,
in.
that makes total sense with
positioning it.
athletics.
Yes.
That being said,
Yeah.
someone just said something, and I wouldn't be opposed to an athletics check to tame it the old-fashioned way.
Oh,
You're breaking it in.
okay.
Do it.
I want to
Do
do
it.
this.
Tongue tie him.
So Kaz, you've got him in a grab.
Mhm.
Do you can now? Here's the only problem. The only problem is
Map, isn't it?
you have a map attack, so this is a -5 penalty. So you may not want to do that. It might make sense for you to aid. And I will say that if the creature is bloodied, the DC to basically hog tie it or whatever will go down.
Okay. All right. So
Nice.
I will aid the
Okay.
next incoming strike by
All right.
positioning his legs
All right,
appropriately.
Droga, then Brek, then
Yep.
the Hadrosaurid. All right, what's up?
All right. Barrick runs in and does his bear support.
Yep.
Quick draw out one of my weapons that is blocked currently with one of my hatchets. And I'm going to swing sheet. Well, I didn't want to sheet. I wanted to drop it to one hand. Hold on. It doesn't matter. Either way, coming in with the hatchet.
All right, now, Kaz, do you want to aid this or do you want to hold your aid?
Don't aid this.
I'm gonna hold my
All right.
aid.
Don't aid this.
Hold that aid.
Oh, all right. Well, it's a 20.
Ah,
It's a 26, and it's hit.
sweet.
All right. Droga brings the hatchet in and gets 6 more points of damage. I've never seen such a high hit point creature take so few damage.
And 6 slashing from my bear support.
And 6 slashing from the bear support. Okay. He's getting close.
Okay. And last strike will be a map attack with my hatchet.
Right.
Don't
But
do more than 6 damage, Bob.
I hear you.
Don't do more than 6 damage.
oh!
Oh,
No, that's
that's gonna
good.
be more than 6.
No,
I
that's
hope.
Yeah.
well,
This
that's
is DC. I thought you said the DC got higher if you got bloody.
no lower.
Oh, sweet. Do more
Yeah,
than
because
6 damage, Bob.
he's literally beaten down.
10
Okay.
damage.
Okay, so right, that's 10 damage, but then the bear support, does that get doubled on a crit?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's
Yeah,
just a
just-
bonus damage.
yeah.
All right, so he takes 10 from the bear, and then he takes 4 from the bear and 10 from the hatchet, and he's down to 22 hit points out of 60.
Come on,
he
baby!
is bloodied. All
Derek,
right.
the chat log is not visible.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. So we got 10 damage from Droga, and then 4 additional damage from the slashing. Okay, got it. All right.
All right, Brek's gonna move in.
Okay. Let me see if the creature has an attack of opportunity. It does not.
All right. I'm gonna aid in the grapple with my trained athletics check.
Okay.
I'm gonna aid Kaz's grapple.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
it help anything if I also try to grapple it?
No. The
All
only-
right, then I will just attack it once with my battle axe.
Okay, sounds good.
Or no, I will cast guidance on him
Oh.
because it has been more than an hour.
But guidance is 2 actions.
No, it is 1 action.
Oh, it is
sir.
1 action. All right. So 1 action to move up, a 2nd action to cast guidance, and a 3rd action to aid him in athletics.
Correct.
All right, that sounds good. All
That
right,
is the end of my turn.
the Hadrosaurid goes next. It goes to Thron and just smashes him with his tail. I got a 20, so that's
all right. That hits.
That's a
That
hit.
hits.
Kaz, you take 15 damage.
Checks out.
It's got so much HP.
It tries to thrash and smash you down with its foot as it brings down its massive foot upon you, crushing. Oh, I rolled really bad, 6, and it missed by 4. And then it brings down its other foot and tries to smash you again as it just tries to rampage around you and gets a 17, which is also a hit. And you take another 13, Kaz.
Dang.
This feels appropriate for breaking them in the old way.
But the creature doesn't escape, and it's because it's kind of a panicking animal. It's not really thinking about escaping. It's just a huge dinosaur that's just gonna be like, I'm gonna smash you into the dirt, you little tiny bug that's holding on to me. But somehow you managed to hold on, although you are badly injured.
I'm also badly injured.
Bleeding badly. Okay, Joren.
Joren pumps some more heals into Thron the Barbarian.
The life of a cleric. All right, here comes the big 2-action heal, and it's another good one. 16.
Nice.
Nice.
And Joren, you're left with one single action.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up, and I know he's not trying to go anywhere, but just in case, I'm gonna head him off.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Okay. So, Thron, now at the start of your turn, if you do not reinitiate a grapple, the creature will no longer be grabbed at the end of your turn. But in this case, this is a special athletics action designed to break the animal like a Mustang. So you're going to make an athletics check. Brek is aiding, which is giving you a +1 circumstance bonus. He's also cast guidance on you, which is going to give you a further +1 status bonus. So that is as good as you can get.
Okay. And he's bloodied. Do you want me to add the +2?
So,
or are you going to take the +2?
Yeah, so he is bloodied. So I'm going to basically virtually, his DC is 22. I'm going to make his DC 20.
All right. So I will remove that bloodied. All right. So this roll is a +12 on my athletics check here.
All right.
Come on,
All right.
baby.
Come on.
Oh!
Yeah!
It's a critical
On that
hit.
one.
It's a critical hit.
That's a critical.
It's a critical hit.
That is great.
Kaz, it is now your mount. I don't know.
Dinosaur mount.
All right, like the party surrounds it. The creature's flailing around. It smashes into you several times. You're still there. You climb to the top of it. Kaz, tell me how you take the creature down. Because I have no fucking idea. So I would love to hear this.
All right, so I am wrapped around it, and it is flailing all over the place. But my spirit melds with its spirit through this guidance that I've been given, and in its bloodied state, where our blood is like almost intermingling, and we both see that we're in this together.
That's where all the
Wrestling
AIDS
were you
came from.
doing here?
Love it.
There was a lot of aiding in that fight, Bob.
If we stay together, we can be stronger from here on out.
All right. Well,
That bear's gonna eat you.
the Hadrosaurid looks at your bear. It's like, I would destroy you in a single smash of my tail.
Don't tempt Barrack.
All right.
Critical success.
Yeah,
I
critical
form a
success.
friendly bond with
So
the animal.
you get on top of it and you go like full like Navi avatar. You see like Kaz like takes his little weird tail thing and plugs it into the creature's mind, and it just like thrashes around, and then that animal spirit, Kaz, that you were talking about.
Yes.
It bonds with the creature, and it just kind of calms down for a moment, and it kind of realizes like, I don't have a pack anymore. Maybe I lost them. Maybe they were killed. Maybe you'll never know. But you've beaten it, and it's weakened, but it sees that you don't mean it harm, and it basically is chill.
Now,
And
hopefully
that's
this thing doesn't eat the Broken Tusks food too much, because we have a tribe to feed.
Trust me, this thing eats less than the massive mammoths.
Right.
It walks around and eats grass, bro.
Yeah.
So.
But it looks sweet when you ride back into camp with this guy.
Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh yeah. So going back to the party.
Gotta be a morale boost.
Going back to the party resources. Obviously.
Herd +2. I don't.
It's also got to be worth at least 1 point morale. We're happy.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys +1 morale and +1 herd.
Yeah.
As you come back in, Thron comes in, not like towing an animal, but like riding it as you guys got to come in. Hell, it's huge. You could probably fit 2 people up there. And the Broken Tusks, I mean, in a normal situation, they would have been thrilled to gain a Hadrosaurid into the pack, into the herd. But to see it in these times fills them with vigor and hope, not just in themselves, but in their scouts, that you are performing so incredibly well. It renews their faith in them, and even more so that you were able to do so and defeat an orc raiding party. So everybody there's a huzzah, and maybe like the first smile since the night of the green moon, like 2-3 nights ago, crosses everybody's face, and you come back into the camp, which is already.
This was the first day of travel. It was yesterday.
Oh, sorry, Kath. Sorry, Tim. Yesterday.
Yesterday was rough.
It feels like yesterday was a rough day. Okay. And this is what you get when you roll a nat 20 on a random encounter.
And the party decides to go fight a dinosaur.
And the party goes to fight.
Party decided that.
Oh yeah, the party. The party decided, Bob. The party decided.
The party.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a dinosaur now. So what do you want?
All right. Well, that is going to bring us to 9:45. Which is the end of our session. So
Damien said, and you thought the wrestler archetype was going to be silly.
Yeah, right. What was I possibly thinking? That
yeah, that was totally just that. You know what this reminds me of, Derek? Lord of the Rings.
Oh, absolutely. Now, are you thinking about the scene? I think it's in the Two Towers where Frodo and Sam encounter the Oliphants for the first time, and then they cartwheel out and take one out by tripping it, and then they climb to the top of it, and then they stab 2.
They suplex it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Oh yeah, well, mine personally is when the cave troll shows up and Gimli catches the club with his bare hands and then just suplex him over into the well.
Right, exactly.
And that's the end of the fight.
It's so funny.
It was so cool. He just starts, swinging the ogre around, beating
and we all laughed
with him.
All right. Well, the good news is, though, you guys do get bonus experience points for bringing the Hadrosaurid into the herd, as well as experience for defeating the orcs,
Nice.
As well as a modicum amount of experience for making 1 hex of progress. So everybody,
it's long campaign.
It's going to be a long campaign.
Yeah.
So everybody gets 210 experience points.
Beautiful.
And that's where we're at.
That happened.
So I'm gonna, we're gonna start wrapping up here, but I'm gonna get the poll up in the chat.
Do we need a poll, or can we just say?
I mean,
Thron gets it.
I mean, it's probably.
I'm just saying, I started that thing to Thron get it.
So
Droga does some props.
We can start a separate poll to kick Bob out of the party.
I mean, technically,
trade him for Pocono.
Technically, Thron would have
Pocono back here, to take Bob's spot. Like he wasn't that bad of a guy, actually.
At least Pocono runs away.
Technically, Thron would have been unconscious if Joren hadn't healed him. But that's all right. But in terms of MVP, remember, if you're new to the stream, at the end of every session, we ask you, the viewer, to vote for who you thought was the MVP of the session, and that player will get to start next session with 2 hero points instead of 1 hero point. And if you've been watching, you know that we are using a variant of hero points. It's not quite as powerful as the one that we used in our Rise of the Rune Lords campaign. Actually, much less powerful than that one. That one's pretty over the top action style, but it's still a variant hero point rule where on the re-roll, if you roll between a 1 and a 10, we treat it as if you had rolled an 11 through 20. In other words, the lowest you can get on a re-roll is an 11.
It makes it not as worthless.
It makes it so that if you are spending a hero point, chances are good you're going to get at least average, if not better than average.
We do need to send some love to the cleric, by the way.
I do,
for literally keeping me alive through that encounter.
Yeah, he pumped out a lot of healing.
Yeah, it was a good time for you to roll well on those, so that was nice. I do like Ben's quote for vote for least valuable player. William Brandis assumed that he meant more hero points. I thought he meant I would just start them with 0.
Checks out.
Yeah, checks out.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
checks out. All right. Well, the votes are still coming in. We've got 17 votes in, and we got 40 viewers. So I'm going to give it another minute or so.
Okay.
Does seem to be overwhelming. But
I'm guessing Thron.
yeah. You know, listen.
obviously.
He rode a dinosaur back into camp.
Yeah, man.
What'd you do?
He
Do 6
wrestled it.
damage?
Oh, I did a lot more than 6 damage.
No, did you?
I did a lot with my
He
bear.
really flexed on it because he wrestled it before raging. All right. He was like, I'm gonna grapple you.
That's
then I'm
even
getting
another
mad.
point for
That-
Thron.
That's
That's
true,
yeah.
true.
that
actually-
one actually does check out.
That does check out. I gotta say, as good as Brek was last session, was definitely not as good this session.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Everyone's
The
Those
whiffs.
dice were
Triple,
rough.
triple nat one.
Brutal.
rough.
Stephen Palmer, a multi-month adventurer, supporter, and hero from our Patreon, says, I tried to vote for Joren, but mine didn't go through successfully. He's claiming it's rigged. He says, heals are so undervalued. Often
They are undervalued. It's okay.
They
They are undervalued.
Yeah.
Listen, I got to enjoy Thron wrestling a dragon. That's next
That's
session.
right.
That's it. Stay tuned next week.
Stay tuned
Yeah.
next time.
2
All right.
weeks.
After
2
weeks, I mean, one day of travel.
Well, like, you're not always going to immediately roll a random encounter. So there is that going forward.
That is a dinosaur.
Well, it wasn't just
Dinosaur
that.
Day keeps the burning mammoths away.
It wasn't just that, like, because there's a chance when you roll a random encounter, it could just be scenery, it could just be fluff, like it could just be a bunch of stuff. But you rolled
Derek,
an,
this is a mandatory role playing scene.
yes,
role play.
yes, you must role play, otherwise they lose morale.
Gain 5 role play points before you fail.
I'll save 20 minutes and just take the morale hit.
All right, so we've got a little bit over half of the people at home have voted, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll because it's pretty clear. We have a landslide victory for Thron, 63% for Thron, 18% for Droga, 18% for Joren, and a record 0% for Brek. Not a single. There was
From 2 in a row
not
to dead last without even a vote.
Brek
This
was
is interesting,
here?
right? Because fighters are obviously broken in the superior race, but I mean, people's hearts just go out to wrestling dinosaurs and riding them back into camp.
That's
That's
right.
what the people want to see.
That's what the people want to see.
They don't want to see effective machines of destruction. They want to
No.
see dinosaur wrestling.
They serve a purpose, but just so that people can wrestle dinosaurs.
Right.
I'm
I'm here to balance those two out.
I will say, hold on a sec. Let me do this. This is a must. This is a must do.
Do must. Do must.
What are we doing here?
Yep. Brek
There we go.
does so much better. When
Oh
he
yes,
does
you
it.
got to add it to the scene.
Oh yes, I absolutely have to
Yeah.
add it to the scene. Yes.
I'm thinking also like that our giant friend like looks and is like, we keep getting large
Hey,
friends.
where's their giant?
Yeah, where's our giant?
Oh,
Yeah, where's my
yeah.
giant companion?
Oh, I forgot about that guy. Yeah, Shemven.
No,
Holy
I'll start
yeah.
bringing her.
Yeah,
him.
she's
Him.
Oh, it's a him.
Shenben. I thought it was a her for some reason.
Oh yeah, look, our party's getting big.
Yeah.
We're getting strong. We're getting strong.
Well, actually,
Look at this
actually,
tribe.
I've been trying to introduce things layering it. But Quest for the Frozen Flame also uses the cohort and following and lieutenant rules and cohort rules. So there are rules for that that'll really start kicking in when you guys get to level 3. But basically, there's another political game. So number 1 is Quest for the Frozen Flame. Can you recover and follow the railroad and get to the Frozen Flame and
Follow the railroad.
beat the adventure? That's number 1. Number 2 is the Derek sub game of can you keep the Broken Tusks together through the thick and thin? Can you lead them out of this stronger than they were when they entered? And how can you do that? And then the third sub game is like the political sub game, which is like, will you become Mammoth Lords? Will you become the next rulers of the Broken Tusk? Right? Even Falcon House right now does not have a leader or a lord, but Mammoth Lords are decided by by politics, but also by tasks and virtue and having deeds in your name, great deeds. So there's also a third component, which is sort of like, do you want to become a leader of the tribe? And
Aren't you Falcon Kaz?
Yeah, but he's Falcon. He's peasantry Falcon. He's not nobility.
Peasantry just rode a dinosaur in a camp.
Well, that's why he's getting influence. But
Yeah.
Thron
Well,
might
that's
be
why we're
like,
going to see how it turns out. He might not be peasantry by the
So
end.
on balance, you've lost Pocono. We're not sure where. Did he die? Did he run away?
All right, plus
Right.
1.
Okay. You lost Grandfather Eiwa. He
Plus
died.
morale.
Minus 3.
He died.
My stream morale.
Grandfather Eiwa died. Whippa gave birth, so she's basically out of commission. Actually, I should change her name to Whippacoa. But she
Net 0.
she gave birth, so she's kind of out of it for a while.
When will those babies be combat ready?
In 2 more
Begin their
days.
training.
But you've gained Shemven.
Yeah.
And Shemven the Wood Giant, and Kaz. We need to name the dinosaur. So
that should be a poll for the chat next week.
What we're
There
actually,
we go.
you know what, we'll let our
Dineric.
we'll let
patrons?
we'll let our patrons decide. So if you're a member of the Patreon, make sure to check out the Quest for the Frozen Flame channel. We'll get some suggestions for dinosaur names, and then we'll put in a poll and we'll vote for. We'll pick our favorites, and then we'll let you guys decide. So
We're also going to need to get a dinosaur emoji.
Man.
Diny face.
Damien's. You see that comment, Derek?
Oh, Thron doesn't give a shit anymore about becoming a Mammoth Lord. He's a dinosaur lord.
Dinosaur lord.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, I prey on the animals. You know how that goes. All right. So that just brings us up to just about 10 o'clock. So I want to say thank you to my incredible, amazing, awesome players. Thank you, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you for running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you, chat, for hanging out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but this is why randomness is awesome and fun, and this is why tabletop role-playing games are cool, because
Whatever, Ben.
I didn't know that any of this was going to happen, and it did, and then Bob shot that thing, and I thought, I think they're all going to die, and not only did they not die, now they have a dinosaur. So, and you can either fight against that, or you can roll with that, and when you roll with that, you're going to have maybe your
So that
game...
wasn't in the AP?
No, it actually wasn't, strangely enough.
Wow, that's
Wow.
really, there's not like a complicated
Strange.
backstory about how that dinosaur came to be in that exact place
Yeah.
and its emotional state as it did so.
But all that being said, you can either roll with it or you can fight against it. And yes, if you roll with it, it might throw some things like balance into issue, but you'll have a better game for it, I promise you, in the long run. And hopefully, at least for you folks at home, it's a more entertaining ride. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And remember to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Knights of Last Call. And if you're not a subscriber or you haven't liked this video, please remember to do that. Be notified whenever we upload additional videos or we go live. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to all of our patrons, particularly our hero tier, who have supported us for so long with a very generous dollar donation each and every single month. And to anyone who tipped, super chatted, or donated or became a member tonight, thank you so much as well. Your financial contributions allow this show to continue. All right. I think that's everything. So, if you're a champion or a hero, we're going to be sending out a link here in a minute because you get to join the after party and talk about what happened. So we'll be sending that in a few minutes. Remember that it's available to our champion tiers and hero tiers. And for everybody else, we will see you next time on Knights of Last Call.